The attraction.
She kept pursuing the relationship.
The deadly intention.
She comes in the kitchen with a steak knife. So what was you gonna cut me while I was asleep?
The innocent victim.
She cut up 6 pair of my skins. That's mean and evil. You don't cut up a man's shoes. That's mean.
Were you under the impression that you were the only girlfriend?
Yes.
When did you tell her that you had a girlfriend?
I lied to her. I'm only being honest.
He's not your boyfriend anymore. It is your claim that he owes you a whole bunch of money for loans that you made to him during the course of your relationship, including, but not limited to, half the expenses for a trip that you paid for to Cancun.
Yes.
Mr. Williams says that he owes you nothing. Whatever money that you did give him was sort of boyfriend-girlfriend thing. There was never any agreement to pay back that money, and that you had a hissy fit at one point and you cut his crocodile shoes. As a result of that, you felt guilty, so you invited him to go on a trip to Cancun, all expenses paid, right?
Yes.
When did you meet Mr. Williams, Miss Lindsay?
In October of '01.
And how long were you together?
Until May of '04.
Did you ever live together?
No. I lived in Cincinnati. He was in Philadelphia.
Were you under the impression that you were the only girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a monogamous relationship, Mr. Williams, with Miss Lindsay?
No.
When did you tell her that you were seeing other people as well?
After the day we came from Cancun.
2004?
Yes.
Okay. What money do you claim you loaned to Mr. Williams during the course of your relationship, other than the trip to Cancun?
Well, over the course of our relationship, John seemed to have been financially in trouble a lot. I did loan him some money by way of, I said, now look, if you need this money, I will loan it to you, and when you get on your feet, you can pay it back.
Well, what if he never got back on his feet?
He said, okay, he agreed to that.
What I'm saying to you is, what if he never got back on his feet? Some people never do.
I just would not have
gotten your money back.
Right.
Are you back on your feet?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. You see, Miss Lindsay, a loan goes something like this. I am going to give you $1,000. Our agreement is you pay me back $1,000 when you get your tax returns in 2005. Now, what if you never get your tax refund back in 2005? Do you have a loan?
Yes.
No. You don't. If you say, I'm going to give you this $1,000, you're going to pay me back in May of 2005, hopefully from your tax returns, but if you don't pay me back from your tax returns, the loan has to be paid in May of 2005. Do you understand the difference?
I do.
Okay. So, here's some money, honey. You pay me back when you get back on your feet. You don't even expect to get paid back.
But I did, Your Honor. He started to pay.
Well, you started giving him money right away, according to you, and you started going out with him in 2001. So let's say you made your first advance in 2002?
The 7th month of 2002.
And when did you make your last loan to him?
The 7th month of '03.
When did you loan him money to go to Cancun?
That was just on the credit card. We agreed to, we were going to go to Cancun. We had been to the Bahamas, and we received round-trip vouchers.
I don't care where you're going to go. You gave him money in 2002. He never paid you back, according to you. He owed you money from 2003 that he hadn't paid back fully, because you allege that as money that he owes you, right? So in the summer of 2004, a year later, you decide to loan him money to go to Cancun. And what I don't understand is why you're making him a loan when he still owes you money from the year before, and why you're making a loan when he still owes you money from the year before that.
Because I believed that he would pay it back.
Well, I don't know what gave you that impression.
Because he was paying some money.
How much did he pay you back?
He had paid $200.
On how much of a loan?
I don't know, because I had not added it all total at that point.
Miss Lindsay.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be your boyfriend anymore.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. Good. Very much so.
Good. Okay. Tell me about the trip to Cancun, Mr. Williams.
How that came about, Your Honor, was he had gotten 2 round-trip vouchers from Bermuda when we went to a trip on Bermuda.
All right, Bahamas, Bermuda, Zeltazach, the same thing.
All right, she called me up, Your Honor, and she said, well,
that
look.
Means the same thing in Yiddish. Zeltazach means the same thing. Yeah, go ahead.
She called me up, John, look here,
Yiddish?
let's go to Cancun. We got these vouchers, and I'll take you there. You got the plane ticket to get there. I'll take care of that. Da, da, da. I'm saying, cool, all right. You know, I felt that I was owed that anyway.
Why?
You know, we were in a relationship. It was starting to get more serious than I wanted it to be. Miss Lindsay, she really didn't want to hear that. All right, and she kept pursuing the relationship. Now, it came a point when I told her, I said, look, you know, I wanted to end the relationship, and she surprised me one day. She flew to South Philly, came by my barbershop, unexpected, and she said she wanted to talk, go out to dinner, and, you know, maybe try to, like, get some clarity on where I was coming from. I said, okay, cool. We went to dinner, we talked.
Just a second. Were you trying to get some clarification as to what his intentions were when you came to Philadelphia?
Because at that point, Your Honor, they were not clear.
They should have been clear as a bell. Okay. You met him in 2001. If he wasn't down on one knee between 2001 and 2004 with a small box in his hand, you should have known what his intentions were. Right? Right. All right, so she came to the barbershop in Philly, and
we went out to dinner, we talked. I thought she had got an understanding on just how I felt. I mean, that's the understanding I got. I asked, I said, Ms. Lindsay, you know, like, when you going back home? She said, I'm going back tomorrow. My plane leave tomorrow. I said, where you going to stay? Did you make any arrangements? Because, you know, see her to her hotel. She said, no, I didn't. You know, against my better judgment, I said, look, all right, you can stay over my spot tonight. You know, you can go to the airport in the morning. I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw Miss Lindsay, like, you know, in my bedroom with my safe open, going through my mail, and I'm like, come on, man, what is this? What you doing? So I said, well, look, you got to go. You know, I let you into my spot. You getting crazy like this, you got to go. I go in the kitchen, make me a cup of coffee. She comes in the kitchen with a steak knife. I'm like, oh, rage. I said, what, was you going to cut me while I was asleep? Oh, no, John, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
She cut your shoes?
With the knife? Yeah. But I didn't find that out. I didn't find that out till she went home to Cincinnati, because she called, left a couple of messages. You know, John, I need to talk to you, so I returned the call. What's going on? She said, I did something I regret, and I wanted to tell you before you found out. I'm like, what's going on? She said, I cut up your shoes. I'm like, oh, Ray, I looked down at my shoe rack. She cut up 6 pair of my skins, my Crocs, John. That's mean and evil. You don't cut up a man's shoe.
What?
That's mean.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It was a dishonest, cruel joke to 2 women. And you can take your shoes, and if I were at a different venue, I would tell you what you could do with them.
And later today,
You can't sue him for $50 on Monday, futon on Tuesday, $250 on Wednesday, because that suggests to me that he's right when he says that you're not.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Lindsay says ex-boyfriend John Williams owes for loans and a Cancun vacation. John says Lori is a woman scorned.
I did cut up his shoes.
I knew you did.
I did.
I knew you did.
I did. I cut up his shoes, and I cut up a couple pairs of pants. But, Your Honor, I did take care of those things.
Miss Lindsay.
Yes.
All I'm interested in is the trip to Cancun. Now, you went on the trip with her, Mr. Williams, is that right? When did you return from Cancun?
I believe it was in June.
It was in May, Your Honor.
After you came back from Cancun, sir, and went to Philadelphia, when did you call Miss Lindsay and tell her that you had a girlfriend?
The next day.
That night, Your Honor.
Would you tell me why, Mr. Williams?
My girlfriend grilled me. She was like on me because I lied to her and told her I was going to my sister in North Carolina. I don't know how she put it together, but, you know, she was at me and just busted me. So I had
was
to come
it so important, Mr. Williams, that you go to Cancun so that you had to lie to your girlfriend, lie to Miss Lindsay, who you know had reasonable intentions? You went with her to Cancun. I assume you shared a hotel together?
Yes.
Why would you do such a thing, Mr.
Because I felt like I wasn't compensated enough for my loss.
You mean for your shoes?
Yes.
Boy.
I'm only being honest.
I'm glad that you're being honest. Amoral you are. Honest also. I mean, you're at least being honest with me. You certainly aren't honest with the women in your life, Mr. Williams. Have you ever been married?
No.
You have children?
Yes. 2 girls, 1 boy.
How old are your girls, Mr. Williams?
My oldest is 32.
She married?
My son is... Pardon me?
Is she married?
Yes, she is.
Have children?
Yes.
What would you think about her husband if he told her he was going to see his aged aunt in North Carolina and went with a woman to Cancun on a lark for 4 days? How would you feel about him?
That wouldn't be cool.
No, how would you feel about him? Would you feel hateful if he hurt your daughter?
Yeah.
Would you feel as if he deserved whatever happened to him? Because he was an amoral person?
Yes.
Do you consider yourself an amoral person?
I try.
You try to be amoral, you're succeeding. You get my drift, sir? I'm trying to teach you about the word empathy. Empathy is a thing that one human being feels for another, so that you don't say, my needs, my desires are more, even if they're wrong, are more important than another person's feelings that are legitimate. You know, her feelings are were legitimate. She may have been overly involved in you, but you are certainly doing little things to, in your own way, encourage that.
I don't think so, Jan.
Yeah, sure you are, sir. You see, when a man says to a woman, sure, I'd love to go to Cancun. Let's go. We'll go, we'll have a great time. You spent 4 days, you shared the same room, you were intimate with each other, you had dinner together, you laughed with each other. And then when you come home and your girlfriend grills you, you call her that night. And you say, by the way, I have a girlfriend. And this was all a joke that I played on you. A dishonest, cruel, but that's what it was. It was a dishonest, cruel joke to 2 women, her and your girlfriend.
And
your girlfriend. That, sir, is amoral. And you can take your shoes, and if I were at a different venue, I would tell you what you could do with them. He said, you called and said, I want to go to Cancun, and he says you cut up all of his skin shoes, and he thought that was a good payment for it. Well, that's a little amoral, but it's also not the right thing to cut up and destroy his clothes.
I have proof that I paid for the things that I cut up. I have proof here, ma'am.
Show me.
There's for damages and repairs. Ask him about, he bought a fur coat in Cincinnati.
No. All I want to know is, show me that you paid him the money for the clothes that you cut up.
There. Highlight it in different
October
areas.
15th, shoes, $180. Did she buy you shoes, sir?
3 pair.
Oh, so she did buy you 3 pair.
I never said that she didn't.
Well, no, but listen to me, sir. What you said was, in your answer,
I said when it came to...
After that incident involving the shoes, Lori did everything she could to try to make it up to me. She bought me a pair of shoes to replace a few things she cut up, but it didn't come close to the amount she had ruined. So when Lori contacted me and wanted to take me on a trip to Cancun, I accepted, no strings attached.
Yeah.
Oh, Your Honor.
Who was supposed to pay for the hotel, Mr. Williams?
Lori.
It was agreed upon. I didn't call him asking him to go to Cancun. When we got the tickets in Bermuda, almost a year before, we agreed that we were going to go.
Okay.
So we were in a relationship.
Okay. Mr. Williams, not only did you go to Cancun and you hurt 2 ladies by going to Cancun for no reason, you got to pay for at least half your way. So I'm going to give Miss Lindsay a judgment in the amount of $750. Write him off. He's bad news. He's somebody else's problem now.
Exactly.
Very good. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was going through some things, and I found out some things that I didn't particularly care for.
When she handed me the steak knife, I was like, I thought she was going to cut me.
Somehow they ended up sliced.
I mean, that's mean. That's just mean and evil. Cut up a man's crotch. Come on, that ain't right.
I didn't get all of it, but that's the price I paid for dealing with what I dealt with.
In hindsight, thinking about it now, I'm glad she cut up the Crocs instead of cutting up me.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Karras versus Tierlink step forward.
Retail manager Karen Karras is suing her ex-boyfriend, construction salesman Steve Tierlink, for unpaid rent and for money she loaned him to feed his children. Steve says Karen is crazy.
Ms. Karras, you briefly had a relationship, according to what I read, with Mr. Tierlink. And you claim that he stayed in your house for 2 weeks, for which he owes you expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in addition, you say he owes you some money for a small loan that you gave him.
Yes.
Mr. Tierlink says, I'm paraphrasing, you're a nut.
You hit it.
You may be right. Why did he move into your house?
He was evicted from his apartment.
You invited him to come?
He called me and told me that he was in a lot of trouble and pretty much showed up at my house in tears with his 2 little children.
So you said, come on in.
What else could I do?
Good. Did they have a spare room for them?
No.
Where did he sleep?
On the floor.
Where did his children sleep?
On the floor.
And after 2 weeks, he left?
Yes.
Now, how much did he say he would pay you for the 2 weeks that he stayed in your house?
He just offered to give me some money. He said that I can pay you some money, and it wasn't some specific.
So it wasn't a firm contract?
Exactly.
Perfect. Then you get no money. Now let's move on to what this loan was. You want to tell me about it?
He said that he needed some money. He said that he didn't have any food for his children, and so I gave him some money because I was afraid that he wasn't going to be able to feed his children.
Good. How much did you give him?
$50.
That was nice of you.
It was a loan.
Well, you said it was a loan. That's not what you just told me. You said you were afraid he wouldn't have money to take care of his children. He asked
to borrow. He asked me to borrow the money, and I agreed that I would lend him the money, and he agreed that he would pay me back.
Tell me about the conversation.
Well, he said that, he needed some money, and I said that I would agree to lend him the money, and when I agreed to lend someone the money, then I expect them to pay me back, and he did agree to pay me back. So it was a loan.
Did she give you $50, sir?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you give it back to her?
Not in that way.
What did you do?
I took her out for dinner, drinks, lunch.
You did?
Yes.
When?
Shortly after I stayed at her location, which wasn't 2 weeks. I was only there for 3 or 4 days.
I dismissed that part of this lawsuit.
Okay.
I was interested, Mr. Tierling, because you indicated in your answer that the plaintiff has tried to sue you before for something.
Yes, she has, Your Honor, and I have paperwork here.
Can I see the paperwork for the prior lawsuit?
It was a loan for a futon, which was, the case was dismissed. I paid her back. That has the receipts and everything right there.
You sued him for this $50 already.
But when he paid me exactly for the futon, he did not pay for any of the other things.
That doesn't make any difference, madam. Your lawsuit that was dismissed sought as a claim a $50 personal loan, as well as the balance on a futon.
Right, and there was also a $200 loan as well that's not even indicated there.
Let me explain something to you. You have a responsibility, unless you want to abuse the legal system, to include everything in a lawsuit. You can't sue him for $50 on Monday, futon on Tuesday, $250 on Wednesday, because that suggests to me that he's right when he says that you're a nut. So, I think that you have to put a period. He's not interested. He doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. He's moving on with his life. Kiss him goodbye, figuratively, and kiss me goodbye, figuratively. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Literally. Step out, please.
Well, I didn't get to explain my Halloween lights here.
My main purpose here today was to make sure that he showed some appreciation.
They were actually cut off of my home.
Completely untrue. Is this another one of his blatant lies?
She wants to still keep seeing me. I think it was all frivolous, little lies, emails.
My emails and voicemails and notes said, I never want to see you again.
The last thing was a brick tied around a note.
That was when he owed me the money and he was refusing to pay me the money.
It's a case of fatal attraction.
Own a cleaning company.
He told me he was going to pay me, but I was not paid.
Was this cleaning lady trying to clean them out?
She owned her own janitorial business. She was going to solicit and steal my business away.
No, it's not right.
Did you think it was right to go to his clients and try to steal them away?
No, I was not trying to steal them away.
I don't like people who don't tell the truth.
Judge Judy.
I don't think you would know the truth if it came up as...
Former employee Lilia Fierro for slander, stealing cleaning supplies, and breaking a vacuum cleaner. Lilia is countersuing for unpaid wages.
Janice, this is case number 566 on the calendar in the matter of Huckabee versus Fierro. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Huckabee, you own a cleaning company, and I gather that you hire people either as employees or as independent contractors. You get calls from other folks who want either their homes or their businesses cleaned. You send out your employees.
Yes.
They clean the house. You get a certain percentage of the money and they get the rest. Is that what happens?
Yes.
It is your claim that you retained Ms. Fierro and she was with you for a relatively short period of time. And you claim that when she left, she went around to customers of yours, people who had been using your company for a long period of time, and slandered you to those people.
Yes.
Ms. Fierro says that she did not slander you at all. She merely went to your customers and she told them that if they wanted to, they could use her to clean instead of going through you. How long have you been in business?
9 months.
What did you do before that?
The same industry. I was a district manager for another janitorial firm.
Do you have full-time employees in your company?
Yes, I do.
Was Ms. Fierro one of those employees?
Yes, she was.
And when did she start working for you?
December 6th of 2004.
And how much was she paid? Because she has a counterclaim, and her counterclaim is for her last week's wages.
Her initial starting wage was $8 per hour.
Is that so far correct, Ms. Fierro?
False.
When did you start working for them?
I started working for him December 9th.
He says the 6th. You say the 9th.
Okay, it was the 9th.
Fine. You say you started working December 9th.
Yes.
And you were paid how much per hour?
He told me he was going to pay me $10 an hour.
I originally, when I hired her, I offered her a training wage because, as you know, as a discretionary procedure, you offer someone a lower wage, and then as they progress and you see their job performance, then you offer the option to move up from there. Essentially, $10 an hour is my top wage that I pay my employees. I never have ever started anybody at the top dollar wage per hour. So her wage was $8 an hour from day one.
Is she paid by the week?
Her pay periods were going to be weekly.
How many weeks did she work for you?
She quit on January 6th, so approximately 4 weeks.
So the first week's salary that she got was for how many hours?
Her approximate wage...
Just a second. Just to answer my question, Mr. Huckabee. My question is the first week she came to work for you.
I want to say approximately 32 hours.
No, not I don't want to hear approximately.
32 hours.
And what was her check that you gave her?
Well, I tried to pay her through a payroll service. When she initially started, I gave her the entire hiring packet, and she was not willing to fill those out.
Tell me how much you paid her the first week.
$425 was for the first 2 weeks that I paid her.
So the first week she worked 32 hours, and the second week she worked how many hours? I'm trying to
32.
figure out.
32.
So she worked 64 hours.
Yes.
Is that what you have, Ms. Fierro?
No.
How many hours did you work?
Okay, I work over 60 hours.
Well, that's what he says. He said you worked 64 hours. Pay attention.
Okay, 64 hours in 2 weeks.
That's exactly what he said. Pay attention.
Okay.
And if you worked 64 hours in 2 weeks and you were paid $425.
But I was not paid that amount.
How much were you paid?
Okay, $560 for the 2 weeks.
Okay.
But he paid me cash.
Just a sec.
Okay, Judge.
Quiet.
After the first week, I moved her wage up.
Quiet. Now, if she worked 64 hours, she certainly didn't make $640. So I'm going to find that I agree with you that as a trainee, she was making $8 an hour. So what you started to say to me was the first week she was paid $8 and the second week she was paid $10. Is that what you're telling me?
I want to say I moved her to $9 and then I gradually moved her to $10.
Okay. I buy that. Ms. Fierro, that's what I find, madam. Not that he agreed to pay you $10. All right. What happened in January when she left?
Well, throughout the course of the first month, her initial solicitation for employment, she came to me as an employee to be put on my payroll. I essentially gave her a payroll hire packet to go through my payroll service. For the first week, I contacted her every day to request the documentation back so she could be on the payroll service. Then after the first week, I was with her at one of the actual houses that she was taking care of for me, and she just, I don't know if she slipped or if she just decided to confide in me that she owned her own janitorial business. Well, had I known that from day one...
Put your papers down, Ms. Fierro.
Had I known that from day one, that's a conflict of interest, and that could have been very detrimental to me hiring another competitor to do my business.
Of course.
But at the time, my wife was in her third trimester. We were unable to meet our needs for our clientele, so I was stuck.
How many employees did you have at that time?
Just her. The employee that I had was quitting.
So your whole company is one employee?
I had another employee that was training her at the time.
So you had two employees?
Yes, when she was hired, yes. She was one of two.
And the other employee was leaving?
Yes.
So then you were going to have one employee?
Yes.
That's her?
Yes.
Now I got it. Okay. So you let her go, or she decided to leave in January?
Yes. After the fact, I found out that she was an independent contractor. She had her own janitorial business, the whole 9 yards, same thing as us. Being in a critical state, though, I was unable to, let her go. She already knew my accounts. I needed to continue business. I said, okay, we're going to switch it. You're going to be 1099'd. Here's a 1099 form. I handed it to her. I said, this is what you're going to need for documentation so I can pay you and that we're legal within the, the tax system. She said, okay, I will get it back to you. Well, over the course of the next 3 weeks that led up to January 6th, she continued to make excuses of why she wasn't returning the paperwork back to me.
She lost the papers.
So finally, upon January...
Is that right, Ms. Fierro?
No, it's not right.
I believe him.
I have the papers
I
here.
believe him. I don't care whether you have the papers there. You never got them back to him.
I did not, My Honor, because I only worked for him 5 days.
Just a second. You're telling me now that you only worked for him 5 days?
Yes.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. I don't think you would know the truth if it came up and slapped you in the face. You just said to me not more than 5 minutes ago that he paid you $560, right?
Yes.
That's what you told me he paid you. That's far more than for 5 days. Then you have a counterclaim, and your counterclaim says that he didn't pay you for your last week's wages, $625. So how could you have worked for him only 5 days?
My Honor, this is cleaning the church. That's just the church, what he has me here for.
We have her here for everything.
They have you here for everything, madam. You just told me you only worked for him for 5 days. Why didn't you get the paperwork back to him?
Because they never asked for it.
You mean that they gave you the paperwork?
Yes, they did.
Look at me. They gave you the paperwork, and what did you think you were supposed to do with the paperwork? Decorate your bathroom with it?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That doesn't answer my question, Miss Fierro. That's a lot of double talk that you're giving me from somebody who doesn't understand English too well, according to him. You understand English very well, and you write it just fine.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cleaning business owners Brian and Monica Huckabee claim former employee Lilia Fierro owes for slander, stealing cleaning supplies, and breaking a vacuum cleaner. Lilia claims the Huggabees owe her money.
I don't like people who come into court and don't tell the truth.
My Honor.
You are not telling me the truth.
My Honor, I have the proofs here. Do you want to see them?
I want to know, madam, why is it that you didn't give him back the paperwork that he gave you?
Because he told me he didn't need them.
I told her I didn't need the payroll company service because I found out she was an independent contractor, so I needed a 1099.
1099.
So that's what I didn't get back.
Here are the papers that he gave me.
I don't need them.
I have my
Miss Fierro, put it down. Miss Fierro plays a little free and loose with the truth.
My Honor.
How long have you been in the cleaning business?
15 years.
Am I correct that you run a business that's similar to Mr. Huckabee's? You provide cleaning services for people?
Yes, I do.
So why did you go to work for Mr. Huckabee?
Because I'm a single mother, and I have a boy that goes to the university, and I didn't have a car. I had an accident, and he knew about it. That's why I was working part-time after cleaning my houses during the day.
Your Honor, the car thing, she had a pickup ever since day one.
There's my son's car.
She came to us asking for a vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
She came to us.
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what proof do you have that she went to your customers and slandered you to your customers? I do not take letters, sir.
Okay.
You have a customer here.
Well, I have a witness here, and the witness is an actual individual contractor as myself. He was there on the premises at one of my specific accounts on the days that she was going to solicit and steal my business away.
Just a second. Solicit and steal your business away, sir, is not the same thing as slander. You do understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Step up, sir. Tell me your name.
Stephen Tidwell.
Do you remember what date, if at all, you saw Miss Fierro?
Yes, ma'am. It was January 31st. I was there doing billing, getting POs when I was...
Where were you?
It's one of Mr. Huckabee's accounts.
And you were there because you also do work for them?
Yes. On a construction company. We did some wiring, some stuff in there.
Did you see Miss Fierro?
Yes, I did.
Were you there when she had a conversation?
Yes, I was.
What did you hear her say?
I didn't hear the beginning of the conversation. I was in the back talking to the building management. She walked up. At that time, the front desk lady came back and grabbed me and asked me to go up to the front and listen, make sure nothing happened. From what I did hear, Mrs. Fierro was complaining, arguing, saying she wants money.
She was complaining?
Her English isn't that good, ma'am.
Her English is just fine.
Okay. She was complaining about not being paid, that she wants the company to pay her. The lady kept saying, you got to go back to Mr. Huckabee to get paid. It's not her problem. Ms. Fierro kept going on and on. Finally, the office manager said, you got to leave. I will have the authorities get a hold of you or come down. Mrs. Fierro left. Office manager came back. We had a little bit of conversation about what went on, which is on that part's hearsay, but I guess she's been there before and did the same thing.
That's all you heard?
It's just the fact.
Slander, Mr. Huckabee?
Well, I guess aside from that, it's just a handwritten letter from Mrs. Fierro to one of my accounts that is,
Oh, just a second. If you have a letter by Miss Fierro to one of your accounts in her handwriting, that I'll read.
Okay.
And
also attached
I'd like to see it.
These here are what my accounts received on a weekly basis. It is her business card, a copy of her business license, and apparently a voided check when she was trying to solicit the business and take it away. And then this here is the handwritten letter by her.
You don't have a non-compete clause in the contract?
No, ma'am. I do not. It's just it's a good faith.
There's no such thing as good faith without a non-compete clause, sir.
Correct. And in that...
Shh. Well, it's clear to me that she was trying to take your business away, sir.
Might I add a couple more issues just for food for thought?
Go ahead.
She also went to my place of worship, my church, and she, on probably 7 separate incidences, she went to my particular pastor and demanded that he call me and have a personal, I guess, spiritual visit with me to pay my dues to Mrs. Fierro. And
well, pay your dues. What I gather was in dispute is $225 because you offered to give her, according to what I've read in the complaints and the answer, $400 to settle all claims. Is that right?
$400 was...
Just answer my question.
Yes.
And she would not accept it. She said you owed her $625. So the dispute here is involving $225.
No, ma'am. The dispute is involving actually $8,400 because the damage is done by Mrs. Fierro.
I'm not talking to you, sir, about your claim. I'm talking about her claim.
Her claim, yes, ma'am, $400.
Is about $225 because you offered her $400. She said, I'm not taking it. I want $625.
Actually, I offered her $420, so it's $205.
And when did you offer her $420?
$420 was on January the 9th. I was at her front door with the local police department trying to have her initially sign a receipt, the necessary W-9 form, and to hand over her payment and to obtain our personal equipment and cleaning supplies back.
She had your equipment?
She still does.
Yes, she still does.
You still have his equipment?
Yeah, because I asked him to come and get it at my house, and he never came by.
We came with the police department, and the police, of course, you know, they tried to do the peaceful transaction, and she wasn't willing to comply, and they told us to go home. Cleaning supplies, a step ladder, and just miscellaneous, you know, janitorial equipment, rags, dusters, toilet brushes, and so forth.
What's all that stuff worth?
I estimate $75.
Do you think it's right that you wrote to his accounts and told them that you could provide a service as good as his?
No, okay, what I was doing is that when I call him, see, he has a restraining order in Bakersfield court office before all this happened. And then when I was served, I asked him, I said, why do I need to go to court with a restraining order if you are the one that owes me money? And he said, because you don't have to go to the accounts that you were cleaning for me, because they had been told that if
why
they see
did you go to his... Listen, he got a restraining order for a reason. I'm asking you a question, Miss Fierro.
Okay.
Why did you write to his accounts, go to his accounts, and tell them, here is my business card.
Okay.
I'm licensed. I can do the same work. Why did you, from a moral standpoint, go to his accounts?
Because I wanted to talk to them, and they never wanted to talk to me.
Wanted to talk to them about what?
About what he had said to me on the phone. Do not even go to the accounts, because they had been told that if they see you, to call the police on you.
Because they're my accounts.
That doesn't answer my question, Miss Fierro. My question to you, madam, is he hired you. You got a list of his clients because he hired you, so you knew who his clients were.
Okay.
You think that it's right for you, after you quit the job, to go to his accounts to try to get his accounts to use you as a cleaning service. Do you think that that's right?
No, it's not right.
So why did you do it?
I did it because, see, he had stayed all the time that he was offering me pay, that he said he was going to pay me as a contractor, pay me as an employee, and does he has the proofs that, you know, that he can show it to you that he paid me? Because I don't think any company will pay cash.
That doesn't answer my question, Miss Fierro. That's a lot of double talk that you're giving me from somebody who doesn't understand English too well, according to him. You understand English very well, and you write it just fine. And what I'm asking you, madam, is did you think it was right to go to his clients and try to steal them away?
No, I was not trying to steal them away.
All right, your counterclaim is dismissed, Miss Fierro. If he owed you $400, you should have taken it, because you're not getting a penny from me. But neither, sir. I'm speaking. I think you're very smart. I don't think that there's anything not smart about you. I think that, put your hand down. I think that this was a nasty thing that you did to somebody, to go and try to take their customers away, to tell them, I can do the same kind of job from you. Here's my business card, here's my license, here's my check. He doesn't have a company, he doesn't have separate checking. I mean, these are all things that you wrote to a customer of his. They're really not nice. And you went to his customers, not the right, I'm speaking, not the right moral thing to do. But you don't have a case against her, sir. Do you understand? She is able to do that, unless you have a non-compete clause.
Well, I guess...
And you have no proof.
Just the defamation of character, the things that she was going along saying...
Listen to me, you have no proof of that, sir.
Can I, ma'am,
no,
other than
you already
letters?
Testified. And nothing in your testimony, sir, was
just the tone of her voice, though. When she, if it
I don't care about her tone
of...
Listen to me. I don't care about her tone of voice. Nothing in the words, in the substance of the words that you allege to have overheard is slanderous.
But for them to come get me...
Don't listen to me.
Okay.
Don't answer me back. This is not a give and take.
Okay.
This is, you answer my questions, I rule on your testimony, and that's it. You don't have a case for slander.
But, Your Honor, in turn, I had to be able to maintain a business and the livelihood for my wife and my small child, I had to turn over a month and a half of free service for the damages that she did, and that's why I'm here
Sir, you
today.
haven't proven the damages.
The damages are just for her visits.
You haven't proven the damages. You need a witness who would testify that she came to their establishment and she said things about you that were not true, as a result of which they either switched from your company to hers or stopped using your company. You don't have that witness. The fact that you took measures to keep your clients doesn't obviate the fact that there is a big gap, that central gap of proof, because this is a court.
Right.
Court needs proof. You don't have it.
Okay.
You got it?
Got it.
Is she out of your life now?
I hope so.
Perfect. Very good. Case is dismissed, and so is your counterclaim. You did the wrong thing.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
A little disappointed. The losses for what we encountered for being here is kind of, you know, it is a disappointment.
I know she was, you know, doing her job.
I was starting to receive telephone calls from our clientele letting us know that the service was a little bit less than standard to what they were accustomed to from our business.
He's a very, very smart guy.
Handwritten letter, you know, saying that we were going out of business and we're liars.
I was trying to find out what he had said about me, but I never said nothing bad about them.
When we went over these complaints with her is when she became very hostile and she walked off the job, and that was the last day of service from her.
I will take him to court in Bakersfield.
A tough lesson, but now you just know a little bit more paperwork goes a long way.
Hope to be able to continue on without any more problems like this.
You have 2 children together?
Yes, ma'am.
Your oldest son committed suicide.
When a mother buried her child,
He agreed to pay for half.
I called him and he said, I don't have the money.
why did the father turn away?
My son is buried in a public cemetery by himself. I didn't agree to that site.
He's the one who has to deal with what a disgrace of a father that he really is.
Judge Judy.
The whole situation is defendant used to be your son's girlfriend.
Yes.
Son?
Yes.
And she lived in your home for a while, according to what I read in your complaint, or stayed there?
Yes.
And she also had a drug problem. You didn't know that, I assume, at the time.
I was not aware of that.
Your complaint alleges that over a period of time, the defendant stole items from your home and pawned them.
That's correct.
You managed to get some of the things back.
That's correct.
2 items you did not, a bracelet and a video camera.
That's
you want her
correct.
to pay for those things. Ms. Starr says that she took care of everything she stole. She got it back for you. She doesn't know anything about this bracelet or the video camera. That's your defense.
That's right.
What kind of drugs were you addicted to, Ms. Starr?
Prescription Xanax.
But you were getting it from means other than being prescribed by a doctor?
Right. I was getting it through a friend.
How long had you been addicted to Xanax?
It had been going on for about 3 months.
When were you staying at the Suppley home?
It was around last year.
When was she staying at your home?
July and August.
How did you discover the missing items?
Well, I had had minor surgery on the 2nd of September. I did not wear my jewelry that week. So the week after that, I believe it was the 13th, is when I went into my jewelry box to get these 2 rings to wear, and they weren't there. And I got very upset, and I went and woke my son up and my husband up and told them that I could not be late for work. I asked them to look.
See them, please?
To look around to see if they could locate them, and I left for work.
This was the 2nd week in September?
Yes. When I got to work, my husband called me and said that him and my son had found some pawn tickets in Courtney's purse. Courtney was in jail at the time. She had been arrested that weekend for a DUI. And so they went through her purse and found these pawn tickets in her purse where she had used a false ID and signed a false name on these pawn tickets, and she had taken my rings and a bunch of my other jewelry, which I didn't realize until I talked to my husband. When I called him, it dawned on me that my diamond bracelet and my opal and sapphire ring and my Guan peso earrings were not in there, so I asked him to check in my jewelry box and see if those were there as well, and he looked and he said they were not there. And when he went to the pawn shop and asked them about the ring, they just kind of looked at each other like they knew what he was talking about, but they weren't going to say anything.
You Mr. Suppley.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened when you went to the pawn shop.
The first couple I went to didn't really tell me much because in Texas you can't really discuss a pawned item. So I went to the third one, and this is the one where they kind of looked at each other, and I asked to speak to the manager, and he came out from the back, and apparently on this particular item, the large diamond ring, she didn't pawn it, she sold it.
How much did she sell it for?
$35.
How many items in total did you ultimately get back from the pawn shops?
I don't know the total number that we got back. I know that we got back everything but 2.
And you got them back because her grandmother intervened, is that right?
That's correct.
You contacted her grandmother?
Well, actually, I called her mother, and I told her mother that we were going to file charges against her for taking these items, and her mother said that she had kicked her out of the house and to do whatever we had to do. So we went down the next day and filed a police report, and I do have the police report here.
May I see it? Go ahead.
So then her grandmother called me at work and asked me what was going on, and I told her basically that Courtney had stolen some jewelry from our home and that I wanted the jewelry back and that we had filed a police report against her, and if we didn't get the jewelry back that we were going to prosecute her. So she called and talked to him.
What did she say?
She said she had discussed it with Courtney's mother and Courtney, and that she was going to go ahead and help Courtney out and apparently loan her some money.
Good. That's how you got the stuff back.
Yes, ma'am.
What didn't you get back?
We did not get back my gold peso bracelet and a video camera.
Is that a Sony video camera?
No, this is not a Sony video camera. It's a Sharp.
Did you get back a Sony video camera?
No, that was not ours. She's pawned.
Where did you get the Sony video camera?
Sony video camera?
Yeah, that you pawned.
I didn't know that there was a Sony video camera.
So it's possible that you were not in complete control of your senses at all times when you took this property and you stole from more homes than one.
True.
All right. You weren't missing binoculars, were you?
Well, not that I know of, but these were the rest of my jewelry that she pawned that we got back.
I'll take a look
in addition to the rings.
But I see here binoculars, DVD movies, Black & Decker hedge cutter.
We did not realize those were even gone until we went to the pawn shop, and those were there. Only then did we realize that those had been taken.
Okay. All right, Miss Starr, I'm going to listen. Do you have anything to say to me?
I remember taking the jewelry, all the jewelry.
When did you take the jewelry?
It was spread out. It was like an everyday thing. It happened. It went on for a month.
So you mean each day you would go and take something else?
Mm-hmm. Just so I could go get more Xanax.
Where else did you steal from?
I also stole from my own family.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She has a mother, she has a grandmother. Didn't it strike you, young man, that if she wasn't welcome in her mother's house and her grandmother's house, that there might be something wrong with her?
And later today,
your oldest son had been in the Marines. He came back from the Marines and tragically he committed suicide.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gwendolyn Suppley says her son's ex-girlfriend, Courtney Starr, stole her jewelry and video camera and pawned them for drugs.
How much is the gold bracelet worth?
The gold bracelet we bought 15 years ago when we went on a trip to Cancun. So since it was 15 years ago, I do not have a receipt for it, but it was $650. I have pictures of me wearing it.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
What's the son's name?
James.
James, you're going to take your father's place, please. James, you have a drug problem?
No.
Did you?
No.
Did you know that Miss Starr had a drug problem?
Well, I did in time. So we realized this was going on, and I realized that it was a problem.
I'm talking about before that.
No.
Before the jewelry episode.
No.
Had no clue?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Yeah.
How long had you been together?
Oh, about 6 months.
Why did you invite her to your house?
Well, things were going pretty good, and after she started staying and spending a lot of time with me, she had lost her job, and she just kind of fell off the edge, and stuff started going downhill.
I don't know what that means.
She lost her job. We started having problems. She didn't have any money, and that's when I realized that something funny was going on. That's when I decided to check her purse for the pawn tickets, right after my mom realized that the jewelry was missing.
That doesn't answer my question, James. If you're dating somebody for 6 months, you don't invite them to come to your house to stay. She has a mother, she has a grandmother. Didn't it strike you, young man, that if she wasn't welcome in her mother's house and her grandmother's house, that there might be something wrong with her?
Yeah, I mean, she's welcome at her mother's and her grandmother's house. It was...
James, what do you do?
I'm a human resource manager.
How old are you?
25.
Where do you live?
Lake Dallas, Texas.
Do you live at home?
Yes.
Not anymore.
I just recently moved out a few weeks ago.
Who do you live with?
2 roommates.
Perfect. That'll help him grow up. It's time. Time he wasn't tethered to your side. Do you have any other children home?
No, I do not.
Yes! When did you buy the video camera?
We bought the video camera in 1979. Here is the receipt for the video camera.
Can I see it, please?
It came from Fry Electronics.
You have receipts from 1979. You are one organized
No, I did
lady.
not. I did not. I had to call them up, and we had to get them to mail it to us. I did not have it.
Gwen.
Huh?
It wasn't 1979.
What year was it?
Well, it'll say on the receipt,
Yeah.
but it wasn't 79.
Okay.
$382, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's go back. $1,060. I hope that completes the debt. I hope that you didn't take any property from anybody else. You're off the stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Working?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
I am a photo tech at Walmart.
Okay, fine. Where are you living?
My parents.
Getting along all right?
Yes, I've cleaned up a lot.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Well, so you have another 60 years to go. So you have 60 years to do it right. First couple of years weren't so hot. Make sure the last 60 are better.
Right.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,060. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've just had a rough life. I guess it's because of my childhood.
It hurt. It hurt a lot.
I've learned to shape my life up, quit doing drugs.
We don't hate her. We don't like what she did, but we don't hate her.
I knew I needed to change.
I tried to have some understanding for the fact that there was drugs involved and maybe she wasn't in her right mind. But at the same time, you make your own bed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Daniels versus Sizemore. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Tammy Daniels is suing her ex-husband, factory worker George Sizemore, for his share of their son's funeral expenses. George says Tammy didn't consult him regarding the arrangements.
Miss Daniels, the defendant is your former husband. You have 2 children together, or had 2 children together?
Yes, ma'am.
Your oldest son had been in the Marines.
Yes, ma'am.
Where was he stationed?
He was in Paris Island, and then he went to Camp Lejeune, South Carolina.
He came back from the Marines, and tragically, he committed suicide.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
was that?
It was in Louisville, Kentucky.
When?
On July the 17th, 2004.
It is your claim that your former husband agreed to pay for half of certain funeral expenses, and he did not.
Yes.
That's what you're suing him for.
Yes, ma'am.
And your former husband says that he was not consulted with regard to things that you purchased, certain flowers, memorial stone, and he's not paying for it.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Okay. When did you make the arrangement, Mrs. Daniels, with Mr. Sizemore to pay certain of the funeral expenses?
My son died on July the 17th. My ex-husband come to my house. That was on a Saturday. My ex-husband come to my house on a Sunday with my husband and my son and my sister and a few of my other family members was there. and we discussed the flowers. He helped pick out the flowers. We had a meeting Saturday when I found out my son died. We had to go to Grayson's funeral home, and we had to pick out the funeral service, the casket, and everything. It totaled up that day to be, just for the funeral service, $5,998.70.
What was the discussion about the flowers?
He agreed to pay half of them that
Well, that's what I
Friday.
want to know. He agreed to pay for half.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much were the flowers?
The flowers was $225.
And what else did he agree to pay for?
He agreed to pay half of the gravesite.
How much was the gravesite?
$400.
Who paid for that?
Me and my husband.
What else did he agree to pay for half of?
He agreed to pay half for the headstone.
Who picked out the headstone?
My sons.
Did Mr. Sizemore have any input in the headstone?
Yes, I called him that Saturday morning when we were going to look for the headstone and told him, asked him if him and Mary would meet us up at the monument, and he said that he couldn't make it. I said, George, are you going to help me with our son's headstone and the money you owe us? And he said, I don't have the effing money.
I'm going to hear you, Mr. Sizemore.
Okay. To start out with, yes, we started looking at the flowers on that Sunday. You know, I did agree to pay half of the flowers for the flowers. As far as the gravesite went, yes, the funeral director did say it was going to be an additional $400. And I said that was fine with me. You know, it started out, I'd wanted him buried.
Just a second. So you agreed to pay for half the gravesite?
Yes, ma'am, I did. Yes, I did.
All right, fine.
Okay, and during the time that we were setting up the funeral arrangements and the graves and all that, I was asked that, you know, we were asked where did we want him buried. I wanted him buried within my family area. Okay, her sister and her spoke up and said, well, we want him close to our mom, which is fine if he'd been buried there. My son is buried in a public cemetery by himself. You know, I didn't agree to that site.
Why is that, Ms. Daniels?
My son is buried where the spots was open, and it's right down from my mom. And
just a minute. Is there any reason why, if he wasn't buried in the same plot as your family, that he wasn't buried in Mr. Sizemore's family's plot?
He lives about 6 miles from where we live. He has to come through Charlestown to go to Otisco. He goes by my son's grave every day. That was right there where everybody could go and visit my son.
Okay, fine. That's a reason. That's a reason. Okay, so far, Mr. Sizemore, I see that you owe your former wife $312 for the expenses that you agreed to pay half for and did not. I don't know about the tombstone because I haven't heard an agreement to pay for half of that.
As far as the headstone goes, they called and asked me about, you know, meeting and getting it. And I told them that the only requirement that I actually asked for on that is that it be black granite. Time prior, before my son passed away, we talk about things like it because, you know, I'm getting older, and he's always telling me, you know.
How old are you?
42. Okay.
When you're 42, you don't think about what color granite you want on your gravesite.
I do. Life's too fast to think about things like that. But anyways, to go on, I said the only thing that really requires that be black granite, and with him being in the military, he's very proud of that. I wanted that. I wanted something with his battalion or whatever. And I said, I will not pay over $1,000 for my half of this headstone.
Okay, so how much was the headstone?
The headstone totaled out to $3,745.
Okay. So he already told you that he wasn't going to pay for more than $1,000?
No, he did not. He told me he would pay half when I talked to him on the phone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Was the stone that you selected black granite?
Yes, ma'am.
Is black granite?
He's never been there to see.
Ma'am, I cannot go up there. My family's gone. I said, yeah. As far as I know, it is, yes.
Okay, well, then you got half of what you wanted because I assume it doesn't say anything about the military. Is that right?
Ma'am, I don't know.
Yes, it does. This guy's military picture on it.
So it has his military picture on it. So you got your black granite and you got his picture on it.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got to pay $1,000 for it. That's what you said. Let's say that's what you said, that you were going to pay $1,000 for it. So that's $1,312. Look. Miss Daniels, when somebody dies prematurely like this, anger is a much easier emotion to deal with than loss and sorrow. Don't be angry. Don't be angry at her. The fact that your son isn't buried in a place that you would have preferred.
I'm not angry with her.
So don't be angry.
I'm not.
You have to sort of put a period, take care of this responsibility.
Yes, ma'am.
And look forward. Don't say anything else. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's just another line of her harassing me.
He lied. He knows all about it. He's the one who has to deal with what a disgrace of a father that he really is.
I guess probably because she wants me to come back to her and it's not happening.
He wouldn't return my call. He's behind in child support. He won't pay nothing.
All she had to do is give me the receipts, you know. Instead of calling me up on the phone telling me I killed my son.
He's the one who's got to stand in front of God on Judgment Day.
So your grandmother volunteered to take you in?
He showed up on my doorstep. I was very worried about him.
One grandson is about to learn the most important rule. Don't mess with Grandma.
I got a charge on the credit card. It was a check that he had forged.
What do you have to say about that, Justin?
I made a mistake.
You made a...
We supposedly paid off everything he owed.
So that was in July of 2003. You paid off all your debts?
Yeah, that I knew of.
Great. How much did you pay back?
I started paying small increments. Work was starting to get unstable. There was one time where I had a layoff period of 6 weeks.
And what did you do during that 6-week period?
I used unemployment, but it was very little, and I was barely holding on to keeping the insurance that I had.
How much rent were you paying to your grandmother?
$200 a month.
Is that right?
Yes. However, the first 3 months, I didn't ask him to pay anything so he could save money to get an apartment.
So how did you pay her back?
For those first 3 months, all the money that I couldn't save, I was putting towards what was being collected upon me from collection agencies, Verizon, and other companies. And I was basically being swallowed and just trying to keep up.
Well, that's why she gave you this $3,500
yeah,
to consolidate everything
later.
So you could pay it all off and then pay her back regularly in a smaller increment. How much did you pay her back?
Well, I've got records here of what I have paid her.
Can I see it, please?
Yes. This is when I recently got employed, and like agreements we made verbally that I would pay what I can when I could, and at least the minimum.
Well, you have down here $720.
Yes.
And I see that the payments didn't start here until May of 2004.
Yeah. That was
Why is that?
Well, that was when I moved to Umatilla for work.
But, Your Honor, also, I got one of the bills, the statements from the credit card company, and there was a $250...
What credit card company? You gave him a check.
Yes, I did, but it's from a Chase Manhattan Bank. It's from a credit card company.
I see. So they took this right off a credit card.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I got a $250 charge on the credit card, and he said that he had a bill that he had overlooked. I had given him a signed check from the credit card company because they send you blank checks.
So he said you would sign the check and gave it to him?
Yes, he did. And
did you?
No, I didn't.
You mean he told you that you would sign the blank check?
Yes. And anyway, I didn't argue with him because he's always right. So I called the credit company and asked them for a copy of the check because I knew I hadn't given him a check and signed it.
Can I see it, please?
It was a check that he had forged. And he had said, well...
Just a second. What do you have to say about that, Justin?
I'd gotten a notice from Verizon for my cell phone that had expired, and I had $350 still left in the bank, and I needed a little extra to do that. I called her on the phone. She was kind of slurring her words, which I figured she'd been drinking, and she said, okay.
So she is correct that you forged her name to the check?
I signed it, yes.
You forged her name to the check?
Yes, I signed it.
She didn't turn you in, did she?
No.
When did you tell your grandmother exactly how much you wrote out this check for?
Afterwards, she confronted me about it later. I figured she already knew because I'd called her. And
when did you leave your grandmother's house?
Late January, early February of 2004.
Tell me about that.
She was in Palm Springs, and we were having troubles. Every time I'd come home, it was Justin, 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 and I'm just trying to get by.
Justin, what?
She would confront me about, you need to do more, you need to do more, you need to pay more, and it's like, I'm trying. And what we agreed upon was making at least the minimum as long as there wasn't a negative mark.
Well, you hadn't paid anything, Justin. You showed me what you paid. You hadn't been paying anything. Not a minimum, not anything, for months.
I had also done work for her, which she agreed upon.
So tell me about that, Justin.
Well, she was complaining about the lawn. I offered, you know, Grandma, since I'm not able to get you as much, I could do the lawn for you. I could have it done in one day.
Try not to look at the walls, Justin. Try to look at me when you're testifying.
I'm just recalling, Your Honor.
Well, try to recall while you're looking at me.
Okay. Well, I was trying to find
No,
ways
you're right. Are you cross-eyed?
No.
Then look at me.
I was trying to get the balance covered and stuff, and I knew I was getting close to missing more. And I went to
right here,
I went
Justin.
to a friend. I was just overlooking this.
You don't have to look at anything. Tell the truth. You should be able to remember it.
I am.
Okay.
I went and purchased a bunch of sod. My buddy had come over too, Chris.
What month was this in, Justin?
I don't remember the exact month.
Well,
it was like July
you to...
or August.
Of what year?
Of 03.
I want you to think about whether it was July or August of 03.
I just remember it was a really hot day.
And what you're telling me, Justin, is you had fallen behind in the payments.
I was coming close to, yes.
But previous to that, you had made the payments.
Yes.
How many payments had you made previous to that?
Well, I'd given her bigger amounts of money, like $200, $250. One time she wrote, well, I gave her the checks. And
so that was before you were doing the landscaping?
Yes.
All right, now let me explain something to you, Justin, my dear. According to what you just said to me, and I want to make sure that I'm getting this right, Officer Byrd, Justin says that he did some work for his grandmother in order to pay off his debt to her. Some landscaping work in July or August of 2003. He said that previous to that, he had been up to date in his payments. That's what you said.
Yes.
That's what he said. My problem with that, Officer Byrd, could you just take a look at this check and tell me the date of the check of his grandmother's for $3,500?
7/10/2003.
So what you're telling me, Justin, is before your grandmother gave you this check for $3,500 in mid-July of 2003, you started paying the credit card company back? Is that what you're telling me?
I made a plural mistake, yes.
You made a big mistake! Because you may be trying to get over on me that something's wrong with your grandmother's mind, but I got news for you, nothing is wrong with mine, and certainly nothing is wrong with Officer Petrie Hawkins Byrd. So when somebody lends you money and someone extends themselves, puts money on a credit card so that you can have a clean slate, because that's what your grandmother did, you don't turn around and kick them in the behind by standing there and telling a whole bunch of lies. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,200. That's all. Get out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm not mad at my grandson. I'm hoping this will help him to mature and be responsible for himself.
I tried being good with my grandma. I did have problems.
The world doesn't owe you a living. You've got to pay your way.
Trying to look like a saint who got screwed.
I hope that it helps him to mature and be responsible for himself.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Perry versus Bartle, step forward.
Homemaker Lynn Perry is suing Travis and Michelle Bartle for the cost of vet bills. Lynn says Michelle's 12-year-old son, Matthew Fry, beat on her cat with a stick.
Miss Perry, Mr. and Mrs. Bartle's son injured your cat with a stick. Yes. And you want them to pay the vet bills. And Mr. and Mrs. Bartle seem to say it was the cat's fault because the cat was out running loose and the cat should not have been running loose. That's your defense, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You, over here.
Have a seat up here, okay?
So, you watch me. Don't take your eyes off me for a second. Your son told you the following story, which I gather from your answer, that he was riding down the street at his grandmother's house, and a dog was chasing him in the middle of the street.
Yes, ma'am.
And he had a stick, and he accidentally hit the cat.
That's what he told me.
And that's what you believe.
He told me that the bike hit the cat, and then the stick hit the cat too, yeah.
Oh. Now, your cat was seriously injured.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of a cat is it?
She's actually a mutt. She's pure white, one blue eye, one gray eye, 16 years old.
Managed to get through 16 years before she met this young man?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of injuries did she have?
She's lost some sight in her left eye, and she was bleeding from her nose and her mouth when the incident happened.
So she was hit in the face with the stick?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, you want to tell me how you hit this cat with the stick?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to hear the truth from you.
Yes, ma'am.
You say yes, ma'am. You make sure you believe yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lynn Perry says 12-year-old Matthew Fry beat on her pet cat with a stick. Matthew claims it was an accident.
You have photographs of the cat?
I do.
I'd like to.
This one's
So far, you're doing very well. Don't take your eyes off me.
This one's 2 years ago. She's fat and healthy. This one's current.
2 years ago. Current.
Big white cat.
She was a big white cat. She was about over 20 pounds 2 years ago. Currently, she's about 6.5 pounds.
You're 12 years old?
Yes.
You do okay in school?
Yeah.
When did you go to your grandmother's house that day, Matthew?
We went over there that morning.
Who went over there?
Me and my 2 sisters.
Now, there came a point at some time that you were outside on your bike.
Yeah.
Who were you riding with, yourself or with your sisters?
I was by myself. It was after I took my sisters to their friends.
And about how far was that? A block, 2 blocks?
About a block.
Did you have any trouble taking your sisters over to their friend's house?
No.
Did you have any trouble coming back? Look at me.
The dog.
Look at me.
I was getting chased by the dog.
Oh, that's what just a dog. Was it a big dog?
It was a bulldog. It was about up to my knees.
And where did that big bulldog start to chase you, Matthew?
Right as the stop sign after I was coming down the hill. I was going to turn down and go down the hill, and it started chasing me.
And you didn't get off your bike from the time the bulldog started to chase you until the time you hit the cat. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you tell me when you got this stick. Is not an answer. Look right here.
I left with the stick from my grandma's.
You did?
Yes.
Why would you leave carrying a stick?
The dog was chasing me.
No. The dog didn't start chasing you until you got to a stop sign, Matthew.
Yeah, from my sister's friend's house.
That's not what you told me. You told me that the dog started to chase you when you were making a turn at a stop sign.
Yes, ma'am. Or right as I take the right turn, he started chasing me.
Right, and you didn't get off the bike. So if the dog was chasing you, and I asked you, when did you get this big stick?
Before I left the house.
Why would you start carrying a stick on your bicycle?
Because he's bit me before, and I didn't want to get bit again. And
Matthew, I don't believe you.
My mom was...
Matthew, I don't believe you. You may have told that story to your mother and father about the big dog chasing you and the stick, but I don't believe it. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you want to tell me how you hit this cat with the stick?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to hear the truth from you.
Yes, ma'am.
You say yes, ma'am. You make sure you believe yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I was riding down the hill with the stick in my hand because that's when the dog was chasing me.
Yeah, how big a stick was it?
It was a broomstick.
A broomstick?
Broke in half.
Go ahead.
I was riding down through there, and I was looking back. That's the time that the dog was chasing me. And I kept on looking back, and he wasn't there. And I turned around. I didn't know what it was until I hit it. And I saw that it was a cat. I really didn't mean to, but no.
I still don't know how it got hit in the face with the stick.
I was riding down through there, and it was in the middle of the road. And I looked back, and I looked forward, and I hit it.
With the stick?
Yes, ma'am.
Baloney. Go sit down. It's not true. It's not the way it happened.
Well, he told me that he hit the cat with the bike and then the stick, and the bike has freestyle pegs on the front.
He was lying to you. He's a fibber. had 10 grandchildren. Most of them ride bicycles. None of them ride a bicycle carrying a broomstick. None of them. And I raised 5 children. None of them ride their bicycle that they're supposed to hold on to with 2 hands, carrying a broomstick in one hand, unless they're looking for trouble. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
They may have believed you momentarily. Maybe they still do. I don't believe you, Matthew. You're not supposed to hurt a living thing, ever. And if a dog was chasing you, you don't take your bike out. You stay at your grandmother's house. And if it was chasing you when you took your sister to their friend's house, stay at the friend's house and call your grandmother. And call your mother and say, I'm afraid to go home because this big bulldog is chasing me. You understand? That's why I don't believe you. All they're asking for is their vet bills.
Falsely named him as the father of her child. He is suing her for the return of child support.
The problem, Mr. Smith, is that probably a good piece of this money went to the state where you live because they were supporting her and this little boy. How much did you pay for the divorce, sir?
I haven't paid anything.
And are you divorced now?
Yes.
Okay, and you paid about $3,000 in child support?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to consider that the cost of your divorce, sir. If you don't want to think of it as child support, think of it as the cost of your divorce, because it is impossible for me to determine how much money of the money that was deducted from your salary went to Miss Hampton and how much went to the state. And I certainly can't, although there's a basic unfairness about it, I certainly can't say to her, you have to return the money to him when she didn't get it. So, you made some mistakes in your life, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
This was just another mistake. Costly, unfortunate, but there's nothing that I can do to help you.
I also had my lawyer fees where I had to take her back to court to get everything dropped.
That's a different story. Let me see that, please. Did you bring the baby to jail to visit him?
Yes, ma'am. He had called me a little bit before Father's Day, and I was nice enough to take Tyler up there to see him.
Why did you do that, sir?
Because then I had found out that she had filed for divorce stuff.
Why did you ask to see the baby?
I didn't. She brought him up there.
He asked how everyone was, how me and him were doing and everything like that, so I didn't.
But he didn't ask you to have regular visits with him while he was in jail with the baby?
Until right after we went to court and I did my statement to the judge, I had no idea where he was. I hadn't seen him.
So the answer is no. So how much in total did you pay the lawyer, sir?
$500.
Okay. Do you have the final copy of the judgment of divorce? With
Yes,
the
ma'am.
modification on it, deleting the child's name? Let's see, please. Well, this talks about the child.
It also says she don't know where I was during the whole proceedings, but she did because I got the letter from jail.
But with that, I went to court on February 27th, before Father's
Of 2002?
Mm-hmm.
This judgment was filed March of 2002.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you find out where he was?
It was right before Father's Day. I don't remember what the date
How did you
was.
find out where he was?
He called me.
Was that the first time he had called you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the postmark on this letter is May of 2002.
Yes, ma'am.
What evidence do you have that she knew where you were?
It's highlighted.
Oh, it says here, I already knew you were here in jail and how you got caught. I had seen Chris in Walmart right after you were caught.
Yes, ma'am. That was right before he called. Actually, I think it was the day he called me from jail.
How much after you got caught, sir, did you call her?
It was probably about 3 months.
I believe you knew where he was. You all live in the same general vicinity?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you knew where he was. Minimally, Miss Hampton, you're going to pay his legal fees because I think that you should have at least advised the judge that he was in jail and that he couldn't respond. And since he had to retain an attorney to at least get rid of the paragraph here that talks about the boy and that talks about visitation shall be at the discretion of the plaintiff, you should have been a little more forthcoming with your lawyer. And you weren't. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just wanted to get on with my life and start my new family and everything.
I just can't believe that he even got with her, because she's crazy.
Don't marry too many times.
Be very careful who you marry.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Chun. Step forward, please.
Daycare provider Lori Jones is suing her former client, customer service rep Nina Chum for unpaid babysitting fees and for making false allegations to Child Protective Services.
Mrs. Jones, you run a daycare agency?
Yes, I do.
And you were contacted by the defendant who asked you if you would take care of her children.
Yes.
You did for a short period of time. During the last week, according to you, she gave you a check and then stopped payment on that check. She later removed her children from your care. You want that check, which was $90.
Yes.
And also, it is your claim that she maliciously contacted the State Department of Social Services, who licenses you, and reported that children in your care were being given substandard care. And you want to be compensated for that because it put you out of business for a while. The defendant says that you did, in fact, give her children substandard care, and she is counterclaiming for all the money she paid you for her children's care and for punitive damages.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Chum, how did you find Mrs. Jones?
Well, I was looking for daycare for my children.
How old are your children?
They were 5 years old at the time.
Twins?
Yes. And I had seen Lori at some of the daycare meetings that I'd been to when I was providing child care. So I knew of her.
Fine. And you needed somebody immediately. You brought the children over when?
This was in July, on July 12th.
And what financial arrangements did you make?
They were going to be there for part-time, so she was charging me for part-time for the 2 children at $90 a week.
And how many weeks were the children there?
They were there for about 4.5 weeks or so.
And how many weeks did you pay for?
For all of the time that we were there.
Well, the last check, what happened?
I gave her the check on the Monday. Tuesday afternoon, I came and picked the children up as usual, and she wasn't there. Her husband was there, and I went and I said, you know, where's Lori? And I was told that she had taken one of her children to a doctor. I said, okay, but the children, as soon as my children sat down in the car, they told me that, Mommy, you know, they were watching naked people on TV.
Daycare provider Lori Jones says former client Nina Chum owes for child care fees and for making false allegations to Child Protective Services. Lori says Nina told authorities her husband was watching pornography while babysitting.
Did you ask the children to describe what they saw?
They just told me that there were naked people on TV, and to be honest with you, I was just so distraught, I didn't know what to think or what to do. I just drove home.
Did you question them any further?
I did ask if it was people on the beach, you know, what was it, you know, was it, because sometimes children may say that even people in underwear are naked, so I wanted to be sure, and they said no, they weren't wearing anything. And so that really bothered me, and I just contacted DCFS on the issue so that they could investigate further.
Okay, let's get to the 10th of August. Where were you?
I watched her kids up until about 3:15. And then I took my daughter to the doctor, and my husband watched her kids for me the last half hour.
Why didn't he take your children to the doctor?
I just wanted to, so I just left them with him.
Well, that was a mistake.
Yes, it was.
Is he a daycare provider?
No, he's not.
Then you made a mistake. You made a serious mistake. So the part of your lawsuit, quite frankly, that deals with punitive damages for reporting you to the state, I'm dismissing. If you have children in your charge and you've been licensed by the state, it is your obligation, absent an emergency, to take care of them. And you have absolutely no right to let your husband fill in. And this was a Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that right?
Right.
What was he doing home?
He had the day off. I don't remember exactly why he was off that day. She told me he'd been laid off. So he'd been at home. Most of the time when you go, he's around the house mowing or doing other things.
Was he working at that time?
I don't remember. He's been laid off on and off since August. He'd work a couple weeks and they'd lay him off for a week, and then he'd work a month and they'd lay him off for 2 weeks. It's been that way since August.
Step up, sir. What were you watching on television, Mr. Jones?
Captain Ron. It's a comedy. I brought a copy.
Is there any nudity in that movie?
It just shows it. No, there ain't no nudity. It shows them in bikinis and bathing suits.
PG.
PG-13.
It's still not appropriate for children.
Yeah, it is.
Just
it's
a second.
comedy.
No, PG-13 is not appropriate for children. That means parental guidance, not to watch till you're 13. That's what PG-13 means, Mr. Jones. 5-year-olds watch G-rated movies, not PG-13, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a comedy to you. You think that these 5-year-olds understand the comedy?
Mine does.
Well, then they've been watching too many PG-13 movies. Well, I would be, Miss Jones, quite frankly, I would be pretty annoyed, too.
She told DCFS that they were watching X-rated porno.
I did not tell them
That's
that.
what he told me.
What I said was the children told me they were watching naked people. Children don't know the difference.
Just a second. No.
Know the difference.
No. That's not pornography. That's watching naked people. What you did was, and I don't even know if that's what he was watching. So you made two mistakes. A, you made arrangements to take your daughter to the doctor at 3:15 in the afternoon while you still had work to do. It was not an emergency. B, if it was an emergency, then you let him take your daughter to the doctor and you stay home. And if the reason that you didn't let him take your daughter to the hospital was because you didn't trust his judgment.
No, that's not it at all.
Well, then there can be no other reason when you say, I wanted to, rather than let him take her when you had a job to do. The reason is either you didn't take your job seriously or you didn't trust his judgment in relaying to the doctor whatever ailment your daughter had. And if you didn't trust his judgment with regard to doing that, you don't trust his judgment with leaving him alone with strange children when he's an unlicensed, unregulated, untrained provider. And he's been doing nothing but sitting around watching TV all day. So he's probably had it up to here with kids. Counterclaim seeks the return of all your money. So I'm going to give you an analogy of why you're not going to get all the money back. Okay. Let's say you've been going to a local restaurant for 2 years. One day you go there and you find a roach in your salad. And you say, I'm not paying for this meal. There was a roach in my salad, right? Mm-hmm. I would say you're absolutely right. You shouldn't have to pay for that meal. You say, not only don't I want to pay for that meal, I've been going there 2 years. I want all the money back that I spent in this restaurant over the last 2 years. Would you get it back?
No, I understand.
I think that you were absolutely right to contact the state. I think that her actions in leaving the children with an unlicensed provider is inappropriate. I'm not exactly sure what he was watching on television. The best scenario is he was watching a PG movie, and he shouldn't have been with 5-year-olds. So your claim is dismissed. Understood?
I do understand that. However, I was really, truly shocked, and it was offensive, I feel, to the children in her care, her own children, and to my children.
Then why don't you tell the judge why you got your daycare license stripped from you?
I didn't get my daycare license stripped.
Listen to me. It's not about her.
Okay, that's offensive.
Shh. It's not about her. It's about you. You did the wrong thing. And he did the wrong thing. She made a complaint, and she was justified in making her complaint. And if she was justified in making a complaint, it boggles my mind why you're suing her. That's all. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's just upset with every daycare provider because she got her own daycare license stripped from her.
Nobody took my license away from me.
They were not watching X-rated.
When they told me that, they were watching naked people on TV, I felt no.
I would not do that with kids.
I did my background check.
Shrek is rated PG.
Unfortunately, sometimes that isn't always going to be enough.
He took 2 rings.
She kept leaving the rings laying around.
It was a total of a half a carat.
Would you marry a man who treated you like a child?
He took the rings because he wanted to teach you a
lesson.
Oh, you wanted to teach her a lesson in responsibility. And then you...
Yeah, she was my mom's best friend.
And she did a very foolish thing because she sold you a used car.
Yeah.
Which is always a bad thing to do with a friend. However, in your case, you claim that she sold you the car for $800.
Yeah.
And you gave her a down payment.
Yeah, $400.
And then made other payments to her, and you still owed her $100.
Yeah.
And she came and repossessed the car. You want all the money that you paid her.
Yeah.
Plus the insurance and the tags that you had paid out in order to get the car on the road. The defendant says that, yes, in fact, you did purchase the car, and you only gave her couple of $100, never paid her anything else, which is why she took the car back. And she is counterclaiming because she says you're going around town calling her all kinds of names, saying she's involved with drugs, and she's counterclaiming for really defamation of character, but she only thinks her character is worth $800 because that's her counterclaim. So I have to question that. Anyway. When did you purchase this car, and what kind of car was it?
It was a 1994 Crown Victoria. I purchased it on February 14th, 2004.
Okay, so you bought yourself a Valentine's Day present.
Yeah.
And you needed this car for what, Christina?
For college. I'm going to start college in the fall, and I've been saving up all this time.
Great. Okay, how did it come about that you purchased this car?
Well, at the beginning of February, Paul she's a real close friend. I always talk to her and stuff, and she told me she was selling a car, and she thought of me first because she knew I was looking for a car. So she told me to keep in mind, and I had my $400, and she's like, good. So February 14th, I was surprised, and she called me and she said, you know, do you want the car? I'm selling it now. You can pay me. I know you don't have all the money. You can pay me when you get your paychecks. And so she took me to get my insurance on the car.
And how long did you have the car?
It got stolen March 29th, but I only was able to drive it till March 15th.
Why is that?
Because my temporary plates expired.
And why couldn't you get permanent plates?
Because she did not give me the title. She told me over and over again that it was in the mail. She kept saying that they sent it to her old address, and she kept saying, don't worry, it'll come.
That's a liar.
And I mean, me and my mom, we waited, and since I was so close, I trusted her.
Okay. You gave her $400 on the 14th of February.
Yes.
And when did you give her the rest of the money that you gave her?
I get paid every other week. And on February 27th, David, he was with me. We went to her house. I handed her the 100.
David? Who's David? David, what's your last name?
Bond.
Your friends?
Yeah.
Do you know the defendant as well?
Yeah.
How do you know her?
Through Christina. I've been over a couple of times to her house.
On the 27th, tell me where you went with Christina.
Well, on the 27th of February, around 7 o'clock, me and Christina and another friend, Justin, we went over to Paula's house. And Christina was going to pay her $100. And I witnessed Christina pay her $100.
Did she have cash?
Yes.
Who was this person?
That's my brother, Bobby.
I could tell that.
Oh, well. He's also a witness to her down payment.
Did you witness any other payments?
No, that was it.
Have a seat. Bobby?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about this down payment that you witnessed.
Well, it was February 14th when she first purchased the car. And
How do you know that? Because she told you it was February.
Well, I was over there, actually, because my friend dropped me off because we had a school project we had to do. Then I had to wait there for a little bit because she had to go get her insurance because they went to go get insurance.
The two of them?
Yeah. Then when they came back, I saw Christina's car. We were excited. I had pictures taken with her, me, in her car and everything. And after that, that's when they got down to business. And that's when Christina handed her money, and she straight out counted out $400 right there. And I witnessed the whole thing.
Good. Thank you. Have a seat. Okay, so now we have on the 14th, $400, according to you, and on the 27th, another $100. That's $500.
Yes. On March 3rd, we made a bill of sale because that's the only way you can get temporary tags, and we got temporary tags.
Did you have a bill of sale with you?
It was in the car, and when she stole it, she didn't give me nothing back, and I had all my information in a glove compartment box.
Okay, so on the 3rd?
Yeah, I have
the third
thing
bill of sale
to prove my temporary tags, if you want to see that.
Sure, I'd like to see. On the 3rd, did you give her any more money other than bill of sale?
March 12th.
So the next time you gave her money was March 12th?
Yes, and I gave her another 100.
Where were you when you gave her the other 100?
Olderman's Market is by her house, and that's where I cash my check when I get paid. And she told me she'd meet me up there, and me and my sister were up there, and she got the money and she left.
Okay, any other money that you paid to her?
Yeah, on March 26th, she came over to my house, and I was kind of, wary. I was like, well, the title hasn't came yet. And she kept assuring me, she was like, I wouldn't do nothing to you, come on. I know she needed the money, so I gave her the 100. At that time, March 26th, I couldn't drive the car because my temporary tags had expired, and it was outside of my house.
And she hadn't given you the title yet?
No.
Did you ever get the title,
no,
by the way? Okay. When was the car taken?
It was taken March 29th.
3 days later?
Yes.
And it was taken by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'll hear you.
I've been friends with Christina since she was about 5 years old. The $400 payment that she claims that they gave me was not true. She gave me $200 down on the car, okay, with the agreement that as of March 1st, the car would be paid for in full so that I could get the title out of the title loan.
What's a title loan? Explain that to me.
You go in and you give them your title, and they give you a loan for money. And I had taken a loan out in in December.
Let me see.
On the car.
Why did you take out a loan on the car in December?
Because I needed money to pay a few bills.
Had you ever done this before?
No.
What kind of bills did you have? So you
I
were
had
really
to pay an electric bill and a gas bill.
Do you work?
No, ma'am. I'm a homemaker.
How many children do you have?
I have one child that lives with me that's 8, and my daughter lives with my mother.
Well, you have an 8-year-old child that lives with you, who goes to school full-time. Why don't you work?
Because he has a lot of problems. He's bipolar disorder and conduct type 2 disorder.
Does he go to school every day?
Yes, and I donate my time to the school to be there with him.
How do you support yourself?
My son gets a disability check.
How much?
$552. And I pay my rent and my utilities with that.
How do you support yourself? So far you told me how that the state supports your child. How do you support yourself?
I use the money from the state so that I can be with my son.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Christina had called me and told me that she was going to call the state on me and that this wasn't over and that she was going to do whatever she could to make my life a living because of what I did to her.
And later today,
he took the rings because he wanted to teach you a
lesson.
And then
I lost them.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina Piesel says former friend Paula Kronk illegally repossessed her Crown Victoria. Paula claims Christina spread rumors that she was on drugs.
According to you, she gave you $200. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's all she gave you?
Yes, ma'am. I kept my plates on the car so that she could drive the car.
And she had a bill of sale that you had given her?
I had wrote her a bill of sale, correct.
Where's the bill of sale?
I don't have it, Your Honor. They did.
No, she said it was in the car.
It was not in the car, Your Honor. She had it.
I don't know if I believe that. All right, let's hear your counterclaim.
Basically, I'm counterclaiming because after I took the car, they had called my mother, my friends, my family, claiming that I was on drugs and that I was stealing from them.
That's all hearsay. You have a witness to that?
No, ma'am, I don't. I have papers from the state because they had threatened to call the state on me, and the state came in and they called my son's school.
Just a second, listen to me. Do you have any witnesses?
No, ma'am, they had to
this
work.
Defamation?
They had to work.
Okay, well, then you don't have a case. You
Okay.
have no witnesses, because certainly you weren't on the other end of the phone, right?
I was on the other end for a lot of the phone calls.
Really?
Yes.
Well, tell me what you heard.
Christina had called me and told me...
Called you?
Yes. And told me that she was going to call the state on me and that this wasn't over and that she was going to do whatever she could to make my life a living because of what I did to her.
Let's go here, Miss Cron.
Yes, ma'am.
You sold her the car in mid-February.
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew her and you knew her family.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you went there, she had $200, according to you, to give you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew that she worked.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was going to be the source of income for her to get the car to you.
Exactly.
Did she pay rent where she lived?
No, I don't have any bills.
And
She didn't
actually,
have-
her...
Shh. Do you know how much she was earning?
No.
Did you know how long it took her to save up that $200?
Her mom is the one that gave me the $200, not her. Her mother is the one that gave me the I drove her mother to the bank, and her mother withdrew the $200 out of the savings account and gave me the $200.
Whose savings account?
It was Christina and her mother's.
Okay. So her mother took the $200 out of Christina's savings account
Yes,
because
ma'am.
clearly it was Christina's money.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you ask her mother whether or not the savings account had more money in it so that
Yes,
you could
I did.
so that you could get more money?
Yes, I did.
And were you able to get more money out of the account?
They didn't
no,
give me-
because they didn't have more money in the account at the time.
Exactly.
Correct? You explained to me how you expected her to come up with 3 times that amount of money in 2 weeks.
Her mother reassured me that they would help.
No.
Yes, she did.
No. That's hearsay, and I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So I have to make a judgment. My judgment is very simple. I have to decide whether a person would give her a car, do all kinds of things, including taking up for the insurance, giving her the tags, if all she gave you was $200. And I find that you were close enough to her and close enough to her mother to know what she was doing and to know that in 2 weeks she couldn't raise $600, that the plaintiff's explanation is totally more feasible than yours, which is she gave you half what she had, which was $400. So you gave her possession of the car with the understanding that every other week
Yes, ma'am.
she would give you another $100, which she did up until the end of March. So I believe she paid you a total of $700 for the car. You owe her $700. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700, and I do not believe this slander baloney, and your name, if it were true, should certainly be worth more than $800 to you. Counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I mean, she lives down the street, or a couple streets over. So I run into her all the time, and it's sad.
She was lying, and just because she brought her best friends with her, they're lying too. They never seen her give me any money. She didn't give me any money.
That's a lot. I work a steady job. I don't have no bills. I'm 18, so I had the money. I have plenty of money to give.
I don't talk to her no more.
You can't trust anybody. And I loved her like my own mother, and she burned me and took my car.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McLaurin versus Hoffman. Step forward, please.
27-year-old student Kelly McLaurin is suing her ex-fiancé, 22-year-old product representative Armin Hoffman, for wrecking her car and losing 2 of her rings. Armin says he financially supported Kelly throughout their relationship.
Miss McLaurin, you were engaged to Mr. Hoffman. Does your claim that he took 2 rings, one the engagement ring that he had given to you, and the other an engagement ring that someone else had given to you, he took them for whatever reason, and he lost them. You want to be reimbursed for those rings. And in addition, after you broke up, but you have a child together?
Yes.
He used your car to drive your daughter someplace, and he had an accident in the car. You want him to pay to have the car fixed. Mr. Hoffman says that he took the rings because he wanted to teach you a
lesson.
And the lesson was?
She kept leaving the rings laying around, and she seemed like she didn't even care that she had them.
So you wanted to teach her a lesson in responsibility. And then you?
I lost them.
Lost them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kelly McLaurin says ex-fiancé Armin Hoffman owes for wrecking her car and for losing 2 of her rings.
Does it sound foolish what you did?
No, I think my reason had merit.
Your reason had merit, but the bottom line was you lost the rings.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not how many battles you won and lost. Did you win or lose the war? You lost the war. The only problem with the rings are, Miss McLaurin, is the engagement ring you had to return to him anyway.
Actually, when we broke up the second time, I gave him the ring back, and he said he did not want it and to keep it. And
he didn't mean it. The engagement ring that he gave you, you had to give back to him. Now tell me about this other ring that he took and lost.
It was an engagement ring from a former relationship.
Well, what did it look like, and how much is it worth?
I picked it out back in '95, and we purchased it for $1,500.
Can I see it, please?
And that was back in '95. I do not have a receipt. He has the receipts and everything. It was a princess cut ring, 3 stones, a total of ½ carat.
And you lost it?
Yes, ma'am. When I moved out of Miss McLaurin's house, in the process of moving, I lost the rings.
So you have to pay for it?
Honestly, I don't think the ring was worth $1,500.
How do we know?
Just, it didn't seem like it was all that when I've seen it.
Well, Mr. Hoffman, the reason you told me you took the ring is because you wanted to teach her responsibility and not leaving it around. I assumed that you would not have taken the ring if the ring wasn't worth very much. What difference did it make if she left it around? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well, the point was, when we were together, she'd always leave the engagement ring that I've given her. She'd always leave it around. Instead of wearing it, she'd leave it on top of the microwave or on the counter. It just never where it's supposed to be. I wanted to teach her a lesson, but I never intended.
Okay, so you taught her a very pricey lesson. You have to pay for the ring. Now let's talk about the car. You had an accident while you were driving in her car. After you had already broken up, you were driving your daughter someplace?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the accident, Mr. Hoffman.
She wanted me to get my daughter's haircut, which I said fine. We didn't want to change the car seat out, which I didn't have the car seat in my car at the time. So
you didn't have a car seat in your car.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
Yes.
So?
We decided to exchange cars. She said, just take my car, and I'll borrow yours. She went to Walmart. I went to go get my daughter's haircut. Got her haircut. On the way back to her house, 2 minutes away from her driveway, I ended up rear-ending another person.
So why aren't you responsible for the damage?
Well, I don't think I'm responsible for the damage just because for the entire time that I've known Ms. McLaurin, she hasn't worked. I took care of her. I paid the bills. Even after we broke up, I paid some of the bills for her to help her out.
That's good.
Yes, and also after we split up, I was paying child support, and if she needed anything extra, I would try to help out with it.
Well, that's nice. You have to pay child support because you have a child. Who's supposed to pay child support for your child? Me?
I'm not
Bird?
saying
He's
nothing
got his own
about,
children.
I'm not saying nothing about
So,
child
and if
support.
you gave her something extra because you had extra, that was very nice of you. You don't have to do that. You have to pay for the car because you had an accident. It was your fault. How much was the car?
I have estimates.
What's the cheapest estimate?
$1172.03.
Show it to him. Got it, Mr. Hoffman?
Yes, ma'am.
Got to pay $1,500 for the rings and $1172 to fix the car because you had the accident. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $2,672. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I work a lot. She stayed at home. We didn't mesh well.
Every time I washed the dishes, I did put the rings down, but however, I did pick them back up again and I put them right back on.
She told me that I stole the rings from her and that I shouldn't have done it. And I said, well, I was trying to teach you the lesson and you shouldn't leave the stuff around that I give you.
Now I can go and get my car fixed and everybody's happy.
Who did you get drunk with?
My brother.
14 and out of control.
Where'd you get the liquor from?
We stole it. And then I just took the car.
Drunk?
Yes.
It's your responsibility as his parent to know what's going on before he kills somebody.
Judge Judy.
Anything you have to say to me?
No.
Come up with something like, I'm sorry I was such an idiot and caused... Is your fiancée in jail?
Yes, she was.
For how long?
About a month and a half.
For what?
Old warrants.
From when to when? July and August?
Yes.
Okay. These are your calls, sir. You don't expect her to pay for the phone calls from your girlfriend, do you?
No, but I'd expect to get my $323 back on my insurance policy.
Sue her. You don't have a counterclaim. You understand? Sue her. You don't have a counterclaim.
Nah, I don't
Good.
need the money that bad.
Good. Fine. Now, what about this tattoo? I'm going to handle it very, very quickly. He wanted money for a tattoo. You gave it to him?
Yes, ma'am. We were on vacation.
Good. So he had a tattoo put on
his leg of his girlfriend's daughter's name.
So, what do you want me to do about that? You picked him.
That's true.
You picked him. What do you want me to do?
That's true.
I mean, he didn't say to you, I want a loan so I could put a tattoo on my leg, right? You're just annoyed that he put somebody else's name on the
Correct.
tattoo.
That's
You're
correct.
just annoyed. Well, you know, tell that to your therapist. This is a court. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,199. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's the point that he shouldn't have a woman pay his bills. He should be a man and pay his own bills.
She's just vindictive. She's jealous she lost him and I got him.
As far as me being jealous that he's with somebody else, no, I'm over it.
She tried to set me up and have me put in jail, quite a few different things.
I foolishly took him back. I loved him.
She moved 2 doors down from us, so life stays interesting.
She was stupid for paying for the tattoo, which was my daughter's name. She's obviously upset about that. So
I won my case. I proved my point. I proved that he's the liar that he is.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Blackman versus Jackson, step forward, please.
27-year-old student Shawnkeeta Blackman is suing her neighbor, daycare provider Cheryl Jackson, and Cheryl's son, Giovanni, for the cost to fix her car. Shawnkeeta says 14-year-old Giovanni got drunk, took his sister's car, and crashed it into her vehicle.
Miss Jackson, this is your son?
Yes.
How many sons do you have?
3.
How many of them got drunk and damaged Miss Blackman's car?
1.
Him?
Mm-hmm.
What's your name?
Giovanni.
Who did you get drunk with?
My brother.
How old is he?
12.
How old are you?
14.
Where'd you get the liquor from?
Store.
Who bought it?
We stole it.
What kind of liquor did you steal?
E&J.
What's that?
E&J is cognac or something like that.
Cognac. Oh, a Renaissance man. Where were your parents when you stole this cognac
They were
and
asleep.
got drunk?
They were asleep.
What time was it?
Around like 10.
Is it a school night?
Yeah.
What was the date of this incident?
The date was October 19th, 2:23 a.m. in the morning.
Now, after you got drunk, Giovanni, what did you do?
Well, my brother wanted to take the car, so he just got the keys, and then I just took the car.
Where were you going?
Just around.
Drunk.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Yes.
And you backed up into her car?
No, I pulled in.
So you'd already been for your ride?
Yeah. Yes.
And when you pulled the car back in, you hit her car?
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
Because I was drunk.
How many times have you been stopped by the police?
I don't know. Like, not a lot.
What's not a lot? Less than 5 times?
Yes.
For what?
Theft stuff.
What did you steal?
Clothes.
Well, other than stealing, what did you get stopped by the police for?
Going to schools.
You mean the police stopped you from going to school?
No, for going to other schools like that I don't go to.
Oh, well, what were you going to other schools for? They weren't teaching you well enough in your school?
No.
Okay, so you have a 12-year-old brother, is that right?
Yes.
Are you the oldest?
Yes.
He's your oldest child?
Oldest child, no.
Not the oldest child, the oldest boy, oldest son.
You have a sister who's older?
Yes.
How old is she?
I think like 26.
She live at home?
Yes.
And who else lives in your house?
My dad.
What does he do?
Construction.
What about your mother?
Child care provider.
You have any other brothers and sisters who've been stopped by the police for stealing?
No.
You're the only success story. You think that it makes your mother and father really proud when the police come to the house and ask for you?
No.
So why do you do it?
I don't know.
Now, Miss Jackson, you were not supervising your 2 children, aged 14 and 12. They went to a store. They stole alcohol. They came back, they drank the alcohol and got drunk. They then stole your daughter's car and they damaged Miss Blackman's car. Those are the facts that we agree on. Is that right?
Yes.
Then you explain to me why you are not responsible.
Because I didn't give him permission to take the car.
So?
I'm also victimized. He's doing all kind of things against my permission, and I just need help. We're in need of help, too.
That's true, but he's yours. He's your problem. You say in your answer that there are 2 reasons why you should not be responsible for repairing her car. One, that her car was partially on your property.
Yes.
And the second reason is she should have reported it to her insurance company because it was a brand new car and she has insurance, right?
Yes.
Where's your responsibility?
I didn't give him permission to take the car.
You don't have to give him permission to take the car. It's your
I didn't
responsibility.
give him permission to drink either.
You don't have to give him permission. You're his mother. You're supposed to see to it that somebody who's been in trouble on numerous occasions is watched and monitored all the time, especially when he's in your house. This isn't something that happened away from the house. He took his brother late at night while you were sleeping, 10 o'clock, according to him. Went out, got alcohol. The keys were accessible to the car. He got drunk in your home. So you may not have given him permission. It's your responsibility as his parent to know what's going on. And I see that he's trouble, but it's your responsibility to do the best you can to see to it that he is monitored before he kills somebody. You like me giving your mother a hard time because of you?
No.
Does that make you angry?
Yes.
Well, it's too bad. What you do reflects on your mother and father. If they raised a bum, it's their fault. Are you a bum?
No.
You have a mother, you have a father, you have siblings, you have parents who work. They try to do the right thing. And if you do the wrong thing, then what you've done is say, your life is a failure because you raised a bum. You want that?
No.
You better straighten up your act. You think it's going to make your mother and father happy to come and visit you in prison?
No.
Have they ever had to do that? Well, you have to think about whether your parents have had to come to detention to take you out.
Yes.
Did they ever?
Yes.
You think it made them happy?
No.
Think it made them proud?
No.
What happened to you as a result of that?
Probation.
Can I see the estimates for the car, please, Miss Blackman?
Sure.
Father work hard, Giovanni?
Yeah.
It's hard labor, isn't it?
Yes.
You know how much money he makes? He gets paid by the hour? Does he get paid by the hour?
Yes.
How much does he make an hour?
About $19.
You know how many hours he has to work to make $3,408?
No.
A lot of hours. Anything you have to say to me?
No.
Come up with something like, I'm sorry I was such an idiot and caused my parents so much aggravation. And I'm sorry I damaged Miss Blackman's car. I want to hear all those things from you. Louder!
I'm sorry for damaging Miss Blackman's car.
What else?
And I'm sorry I put my mom in debt through this.
Has he ever spent a weekend in jail?
He spent 3 days in juvenile hall. That's where we picked him up from.
Has he been in trouble since?
He won't go to school. He won't keep the probation.
He won't go to school and keep the probation, right?
He needs to stop drinking and smoking.
Maybe Bird can have a conversation with him. Maybe. In any event. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,408. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step
I
up.
think this is basically a question of discipline, the parents being able to put their foot down and say enough is enough.
He's not safe out there. He's real hyper, and he won't be still, and he won't think, and he's not focusing right now.
He used to be a good child, getting good grades, and somewhere he just went wrong, and I just don't understand what happened.
I tried to raise him the best I can to know and love God's values, and it's really disheartening.
As far as his apology, I just didn't see it as real sincere.
Just seeking help. That's all I can do is seek help. I recognize there's a problem.
I knew she was going to do something treacherous.
The day his whole life changed.
She used to be your landlord.
That's correct.
Ultimately evicting you.
I didn't feel comfortable with him being there anymore.
For anyone who pays rent, you'll want to see this case.
The only way to get him out was to have him arrested, which is what you did. All of a sudden, this man who had been a reasonable tenant for 7 years became a psychopath.
I felt unsafe with
You are full of baloney.
Administrative assistant Maria D'Alessandro for having him falsely arrested and for slandering him. Maria says Derek violated a restraining order.
All rise. All rise. Yes, this case number 468 on the calendar in the matter of Broussard versus D'Alessandro. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Broussard, this young lady used to be your landlord.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she embarked upon a course of conduct of harassment, filing false restraining orders against you, ultimately evicting you from the place where you had lived for some period of time. You want to be compensated for that.
Right.
And Ms. D'Alessandro said everything that she said was in her applications were true, and you were a terrible tenant. You also have a claim against her for slander. You say that when you ultimately applied to other apartments to rent, and they called her to verify your tenancy, she said bad things about you, so it made it virtually impossible for you to get another apartment.
That's correct.
Now, I gather, Mr. Broussard, that you lived in this house. It was a house?
She lived in the house up front. I lived in an apartment in the back.
And you had lived there prior to Miss D'Alessandro moving in because a relative of hers owned the house, and you were the relative's tenant.
Right.
Who was the relative?
My mother.
And what was her name?
Loretta Wallace.
When did you first move into this apartment in the back?
It was approximately 7 years ago.
Did Loretta Wallace ever bring eviction proceedings against you?
Never.
When for the first time did you file notice to quit or pay against the plaintiff?
That would have been in early October 2003.
What happened?
After I had received title to the house, or during the time the transfer was going on, I was in the process of sort of getting my ducks in the row to start making renovations on the apartment building.
What apartment building?
There's the house in the front is where I live. There's a 3-unit apartment building at the rear of the property. And
you live in one of those units?
Right.
Go ahead.
Everything was going smoothly as far as I was concerned, and I had actually started to make renovations in one of the other apartments and had told Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend, and said, look, you know, I'm going to be doing the same thing to your unit at some point very soon, and, you know, just to let them know what was going on and that I didn't forget about them.
When you were making the renovations in the other unit, where were the tenants in the other unit?
That unit was vacant, and the renovations were very extensive.
Go ahead.
So at the end of September, I was at home and I was watering the lawn, and Mr. Broussard came and knocked on my screen door and was complaining about the fact that water was getting on his girlfriend's car. And I told him, I said, you know what, just a minute, I'm on the phone, I'll be with you as soon as I can. He insisted, and he became belligerent, and I stepped outside of the kitchen because I was going to go to the back and simply turn the water off just to get him off of my back. And then he engaged in this verbal tirade in my face so close that he started to spit on me. And it was at that time, it was like, okay, you know what, that's it. You know, I had to do what I felt I needed to do in order to ensure my personal safety, because I was living on the property at the same time, and I didn't feel comfortable with him being there anymore, let alone the fact that he and his girlfriend were going to have to move anyway, because I was going to have to gut the unit to renovate it.
Got it?
Got it.
I didn't have any problems with them, and neither
Let me
did my
ask you this
mother.
question, sir. You want to give me your version of what happened?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
On that date in October?
Part of that was true. She did have the sprinklers up real high. And she was home. I went and knocked on the door. I said, Maria, you're soaking our cars. And she looked at me and she said, well, you should have moved them, and slammed the door in my face. And I was shocked. I guess I was holding the screen door, and I must have closed it too hard, and I really upset her. Next thing I know, she comes flying out the door, getting in my face. Now, she's a woman, challenging me as if she's a man. We exchanged a few words, a few unpleasantries, I won't lie about that. But I never put my hands on her, and I called myself, so you know what? Let me get away from her before she says I did something to her, before somebody sees me arguing with a woman. As I'm walking away, her boyfriend comes flying up, and I'm walking away going to my house. He comes and gets in my face, and he says, well, basically, Derek, you and Denise have to move. I said, who are you? He said, that's my girlfriend.
Would you stand up straight, please?
I said, well, this doesn't concern you. I said, I can stay here as long as I want to. You don't have anything to do with this property or this matter. I said, get out of my face. So I turned and I walked in the house. And me knowing her, the type of person she is, I knew she was going to do something treacherous, you know, by the 1st of the month. We decided we're going to make sure this rent is due exactly on the 1st. I don't want any funny business with her. Well, we paid our rent on the 1st. She accepted the rent. I have a canceled check. I have a receipt.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Alessandro, did you speak to an attorney before you decided that Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend were going to have to move so that you can do renovations?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
And did the attorney tell you that you can't have them move just because you decided to do renovations on their unit?
No, he did not.
He should have.
Well, and that
he should have.
Ma'am, that was not the reason why I proceeded with the eviction proceedings against Mr. Broussard.
Just
no,
a second.
It was not.
Oh, yeah, it was.
No, it was not.
The coincidence of you renovating one apartment and then saying to me a moment ago, and he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to totally gut his apartment. Oh, no, he wasn't.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
The reason why I filed for eviction against him.
That's the exact reason, because that's what the lawyer probably told you.
No, he did not.
There has to be a reason for you. Mr. Alessandro, I want to tell you something. You think you're smarter than I am?
I do not,
You are
ma'am.
not. You are not. And I've been a judge for a very long time, and things usually happen in a rhythm. And let me explain the rhythm to you that is factual. Fact is, he lived there since 1997. Fact is, between 1997 and 2003, neither you nor your mother before you had occasion to file any kind of charges against Mr. Broussard or his girlfriend. Fact. The same month, according to you, that the title passed to you in the house, you decided to get your ducks in the water and remodel the unit behind the house. And according to you, he came and got in your face on that day, and you decided you had to do something to get him out because he was going to, according to you, quote, a moment ago, he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to gut the apartment. That's what you just told me. Those are the objective facts. And what you would have me believe is that all of a sudden this man who had been a reasonable tenant for 7 years became a psychopath.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
And later today.
I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck.
And when the cops arrived, what happened, sir?
They cuffed me for drinking and being underage.
He was drunk.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Derek Broussard says former landlord Maria D'Alessandro had him falsely arrested for violating a restraining order. Derek also says after he moved out, Maria slandered him to potential landlords.
On October 1st, he gave you a check, stated September 30th.
Yes.
I have a receipt for it.
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
file a notice to quit because he had not paid rent?
No, I was advised to file the 3-day as well as a 60-day based on the fact that Mr. Broussard was habitually late in paying his rent over a period of time.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is that you filed a notice for him to vacate the premises, not because he was late in October, because he wasn't late in October because he paid you the rent on time.
Right.
But because it started to bother you that before that he hadn't paid his rent.
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me, and it didn't bother my mother.
So what did you file a complaint for?
I filed the complaint because I felt unsafe with Mr. Broussard being there after he verbally attacked me.
Then what I'm saying to you is, you're not following me, madam. What I said was, he didn't bother anybody before, didn't bother your mother before, didn't bother you before. When he started to bother you was in October when you decided to make renovations on the apartment. Those are the objective facts.
I did not make the decision in October, ma'am. I had started the work on the unit earlier in that summer, approximately June or July.
On his unit?
No, because they were still in it. I couldn't do it.
Right.
But that is not the reason why I filed eviction against them at all.
I don't believe you.
My mother, I have evidence in here that shows that prior to 2003, Mr. Broussard had a record, a pattern of actually tendering checks that came back NSF.
You just told me, madam, you got to keep your story straight. I'm speaking and you're not listening. You just told me that the reason you gave him the notice to quit was not because of rent. You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
The rent was not the rent was not the issue.
Okay. Now the rent was not the issue. Is that? I'm speaking. The rent was not the issue. Can I see your notice to leave? Do you have it?
It's in there. And here's the.
Just a minute. Shh. Well, you certainly say here that the reason you gave him the notice, madam, was because of rent.
What document is that you're looking at?
Take a look.
I will say, in my defense...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Pay attention to me. What's the reason you give in the notice for him to leave?
See, the attorney's office filed this on October the 15th. They made an error, and I have a note in here that verifies that.
Give it to me.
The note?
No, give me the papers back.
The detainer.
Give me the papers back.
The attorney's office acknowledged that they filed the unlawful detainer in error.
When did you file your application for a protective order?
October the 24th.
So, October 15th, they acknowledged they made a mistake, and they withdrew that.
No, not on October the 15th. Well, they did not acknowledge that they made the mistake. I did not know that the unlawful detainer had been filed until the morning of October the 21st, and I have a copy of that paper in here.
Oh.
Now, on October the 21st, when I called the attorney's office to say, what are you doing? I called you on October the 2nd to tell you that they had paid their rent in full and to remove the 3-day and maintain the 60-day.
So you told them that on the 21st of October?
That was the only time I knew that the unlawful detainer had been filed.
Listen to me carefully. So now we get to this objective data. The objective fact is that on the 21st, because you knew that you couldn't get them out because they had in fact paid their rent, right?
That's not...
3 days later, you filed a protection order against them. Now let me see the allegations on which you based the protective order. Let me see it.
Here's a restraining order. Is that what you're asking
I
for?
want to see the underlying allegations where she filed for a protective order. Underlying allegations. Can I see it, please? Description of the conduct. October 2nd, defendant observed plaintiff banging loudly on her back door. Garbage left in the area surrounding plaintiff's residence, and the defendant observed burning rubber in the driveway. October 3rd, he called you a name. October 17th, broken beer bottles left in front of her garage. So all of these things happened, and you filed this 3 days after you told the lawyer you better withdraw that because he paid his rent.
That's because I was hoping he was just going to leave me alone.
Madam, you are full of baloney.
No, ma'am, I am not.
I believe that the reason you got him out and the reason you filed for a violation is because there was no other way to get him out. He had been a tenant. He'd been a tenant for 7 years. You wanted to renovate those 3 apartments, and the only way to get him out was to have him arrested, which is what you did. Judgment for the plaintiff, and the amount requested, $5,000.
That's not the reason why. Good, congratulations, you got your money.
Thank you, Judge Judy.
Good, you got you some money now.
I was trying to get over it. But something inside of me told me, don't let her get away with this.
It's breaking beer bottles. Okay, so what? I cleaned it up.
38 years, been a law-abiding citizen, and for her just to say, take him away, like I'm a piece of meat.
It's a lot more pleasant place to live now.
She's had ex-boyfriends vandalize her property, so she felt like she could blame it all on me.
He can move on. I've moved on.
Oh, man, I'm so happy. I love Judge Judy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ward versus Ortega, step forward, please.
Office manager Kelly Ward is suing fellow concertgoer, 19-year-old student Filiberto Ortega for falling on top of her during a show. Kelly says a drunken Filiberto gave her whiplash.
Miss Ward, you went to a concert, a musical concert?
Yes, I did.
And Mr. Ortega was also a guest at that concert, paying custom. Don't get smart with me, sir. Is your claim that Mr. Ortega got drunk? Mm-hmm. While he was drunk, he fell on top of you and injured you.
Correct.
You want to be compensated for your medical bills and for your pain and suffering.
Yes.
And Mr. Ortega said that that's what happens when you go to a concert. He doesn't think that you were injured. He was drinking that night, but he doesn't think that he was so drunk that his falling on top of you, which he hardly remembers, was as a result of his being intoxicated. Is that right, sir?
I'll admit I was wrong for drinking that night, and I learned my lesson, definitely learned my lesson.
Well, let's start with Miss Ward. What concert was it?
It was a Dave Matthews concert on October 5th.
And tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I can tell you what I remember. My witness can kind of finish it up for me. Her and I were sitting in our seats at the time. She was on the end. I was sitting right next to her. All of a sudden, all I knew, I felt something in the back of my head. I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck. And from there, it was kind of a blur.
Then you can pick it up from there. Tell me your name.
Lori.
Lori what?
Langdock.
What did you see?
At first I felt something hit the side of my arm, and I thought maybe she's trying to get my attention. So I turned and looked at her and saw her slumped forward in her seat, and I saw the defendant's legs were on top of her head and her neck, and his body was to the seat, in the seat to her left. And I had to kind of pick his legs up off of her, and he kind of fell farther over. Then she sat up just a little bit, and I just kept asking her if she was okay, and then he pushed a little bit past her and he kept falling back on the both of us, so I had to kind of help hold him up until he got right in the stairwell there, or in the stairs, and then I let go of him and went back to her.
You have any medical bills?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
Sure.
Neighbors, and according to your complaint, Miss Randall assaulted you over a parking space. Miss Randall acknowledges that there was some sort of a tiff, but she says that you got into her personal space, whatever that means. Okay. Had you been friendly with the defendant prior to this incident?
Yeah, actually, when she just moved in, I was kind of excited because I'm married with kids, and I'm young, I'm 21, and I saw that they were young, so I said, hey, you know, there's people I could talk to that live right downstairs. So
how many units are in the building?
4. I have pictures.
What I want to know is, this argument happened over a parking space, so why don't you tell me what happened on the 29th?
Okay, on the 29th, Shaniqua, she was parked in my spot. And,
in your parking space?
In my parking spot.
You have assigned spots?
Yes.
Okay.
I knocked on their door to ask her to move, and nobody answered. This was something that kept on happening. It was a recurring problem. So I called my parents. I said, they're still bothering me about this spot. And my mother said, you know what, Tatiana, you've spoken to them before about parking in this spot.
Had you spoken to them before?
Yeah, from the first time they moved in.
Both of them?
Yes. I told them that we have reserved parking spots. I introduced myself and everything. I was being really friendly with them. So they noticed, and the first day they moved there, actually, I think one of their friends or somebody was parked in my spot, and that's when I said, yeah, we have reserved spots, so could they move? I asked nicely.
And did they move?
Yeah. They got really mad, though, and then they moved.
What was the problem with parking in her spot?
It wasn't me that was parking in her spot. It was my roommates.
Well, who were your roommates?
Shaniqua. She's my roommate. Well, and she's never came to me with the problem about us parking in our spot. Only one time she had asked me to move.
Step up. Why did you park in her spot?
When I parked in her parking space, it was at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't care whether it was 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. Why did you park in her space?
There were no open spaces. I parked in her parking spot. I figured, okay, she has 2 kids. If she's not home at 3 o'clock in the morning, I figured that she wouldn't be parking there. So I parked in her parking spot.
Sit down. What?
Just shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, so this is the morality monitor. If you're not home, you should be home. If you're not home, then I'm parking in your spot. Right. Okay. So they were parked in your spot again. You called your parents, and you told your parents, and evidently one of your parents called the police, and the car was towed.
No, I actually called the police.
What happened?
The police came over. My dad came over first, and then I said, Dad, could you come there with me, because I didn't want to start anything. Because I've never been in a fight before. I'm not a fighting person.
Okay.
So my dad came over. We knocked on their door. That was the second time. They were home, and Shaniqua was in my spot. And we were knocking on the door, but nobody answered the door. The cops came. I have this report also.
Can I see the police report?
The cops came, and they banged on the door for a while. Nobody answered the door. So after everybody left, because they said, okay, obviously they're not answering the door, and you can't legally have the car towed. So they said all we could do is just ask them not to park there again, and then they'll give them a violation or something. So then after they left, about 2 hours later, I said, you know what, let me go back downstairs and I'll see if somebody opens the door. So I knocked on the door, and that's when Shaniqua opened the door, and I said, what's up with you in my spot? I said, you guys keep on parking there, you know, and I've asked you numerous times not to park there. So I was talking to her for a little while, and I said, so can you please move your car? And they say the same thing all the time. I'll move in a little bit. I'll move in a little bit. I'm going to work anyway. And I said, you know, don't park there. There's other parking spots. Why park there? Then she said, well, you're at home anyway, so I saw it was free. I said, no, listen, it's my parking spot. It's reserved, so it's never free for you. So then she said, well, I'm leaving. I'm going to work in a little bit anyway.
Who said that to you? Which one?
Shaniqua.
Yeah. That one.
So I said, well, listen. I said, you're in your nightgown. I said, I'll give you 10 minutes to get dressed, but after that, I'm going to call the tow company to come tow your car if you don't move. So, and I was just saying that so she could move her car and see I was serious.
Perfectly reasonable. Will you get to the assault, please?
Sorry, she slammed the door on my face. I went back upstairs. So a couple hours passed, and then I heard bang, 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 bang on my door. And I was like, what's going on? So I grabbed the phone, because I don't have any friends, so nobody should be coming over my house. So I grabbed the phone, I walked downstairs. I said, I wonder who's knocking on my door. So I opened the door, and she was standing right there screaming at me, Tamika.
What was she screaming?
She was screaming at me, saying that I disrespected her by saying that I'd have her car towed if she parked in my spot, and that she'll park there anytime she wants to, and if I do anything about it, she'll kick my butt up and down the street. She was making fun of me, yelling out profanities and everything. And she was saying, what's really good? What's really good? Come on, what's really good? That's what she was saying, trying to make me fight her, and I wasn't about to fight her. And the whole time that she was screaming at me, I was dialing the police. That's the first people I called, because I knew that if I called them, they'd come.
At what point did she touch you?
Oh, okay. So now I'm dialing a whole lot of people. I'm sorry. Okay, and then she said, yeah, I'll beat you up. So she's going on and how she's going to fight me. And just then she punched me in my mouth and then pushed me into my neighbor's door, and that's when the whole fight started.
Tatiana Harris says former neighbor Tamika Randall punched her in the face over a parking spot. Tamika says Tatiana asked for it.
Now, why did you go to her house?
Okay, I received a phone call from Shaniqua saying that Tatiana called the police. However, I was not home when the police came to my house. I was away in Pennsylvania for the weekend. Okay. So when I came home, I got the phone call from Shaniqua saying, oh, Tatiana called the police. They came to the house, and they said that we just wasn't answering the door. So I'm like, what do you mean she called the police? Well, she said because I parked in her spot, meaning Shaniqua.
Just slow down, please.
Oh, I apologize. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to her about it, you know. So I knocked on the door. I was not yelling or anything. I asked her, you know, what was going on. She got very nasty, and it was uncalled for because before that we were friends, you know. She went drinking.
So she got nasty. Go
yeah,
ahead.
she got nasty. So at that point, I got nasty back, you know. We started yelling at each other. At that point, I turned around and actually went back into the house, closed my door. She stood outside, continuing to yell and everything else. So I came back outside. Like she said, the doors are very close. So I can stand on the edge of my, by my door and still see her by her apartment and still actually be kind of close to her. She was standing, like in the hall.
Try looking in my eyes. Don't look at your shoes.
I was not looking at my shoes. I can't see my shoes.
Over here.
However, she was
you're looking
standing
over
on the
there.
cement.
I'm telling you, look over here.
However, she was standing at the cement, on the cement, and I'm in my apartment.
Not over there, over here.
I'm in my apartment, and she's still yelling at me, all in my face. I thought she was going to hit me, so I hit her.
Good.
That's when the fight started.
Good. You can't hit her. I don't care what you think.
Whatever.
I don't care. Whatever. Shh. I don't think that they get it. I don't want to hear you. Do you understand that? That come from that back there?
Mm-hmm.
Get him out of. You, out. I'm going to say 3. 1. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. You want to participate in the decision-making process, go on Jerry Springer. Not here. This is a court. Maybe a television court, but it's a court. So behave yourselves. Do I make myself clear? Perfect. You have no right to touch her. Clear? Not whatever. Clear, Miss Attitude?
Whatever.
What an idiot. Let me ask you this question, my dear.
Sure.
How old are you?
21.
What do you do for a living?
I take care of disabled adults.
In a home for disabled adults?
A group home.
Tell me what kind of training you had to do that.
You have to take recertifications. Like,
what do you mean? First, you have to get certified. Before you take a recertification,
yes,
you have to get certified.
Pardon me.
What kind of certification do you need to take care of disabled adults?
You have to learn how to give meds and all like little classes to teach them how to assist with daily living and things like that.
And what kind of temperament do you have to work with disabled adults?
You have to be patient.
Patient. What else?
Kind.
What else?
And you have to be able to teach them. And I am all of those things.
Patient and kind?
Yes, I am. Regardless of what you say or think.
Okay, so you're punched in the mouth. Did you go to the doctor?
Yes.
Can I see the report, please? Thank you.
And from that day, the 29th, that night, I went to stay with my parents. So I went with my kids and everything to my parents' house, and we stayed there until I moved into my
How many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
2 and 1.
Where's their father?
He's watching them. We're married.
Okay, so you went with your husband to your parents' house?
Yes.
And your 2 children?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Her husband was not around or even in the picture.
And that's exactly why they felt that they could harass me, because he wasn't there.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Why did your roommate and or you disrespect her private space by parking in her parking space?
However, it wasn't me that disrespected her. The only time I might have parked in her spot is when we first moved in or had trucks and stuff moving my stuff out. I mean, at that time, my car was never parked in her spot. I had no problem parking down the way to walk to my apartment. It was never an issue for me. Now, Shanique, on the other hand, I have nothing to do with that. My problem was that I felt she should have came to me. I mean, my mother co-signed for this apartment.
Just a second, so you felt that she should have come to you. You weren't there.
No, exactly. So why not wait for me to come home? Neither was Shaniqua. That didn't stop her from calling the cops.
Oh, she was there.
She was home after the fact.
She was there. She was there.
After the fact.
She was there. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. They step out.
It's ludicrous, but you know what? I don't mind her getting the money. She obviously needs it.
Obviously, they weren't doing the right thing, because you could just tell by how they speak. They can't even talk correctly.
Whatever. It's over and done with. It's not a big deal.
She's really, really extremely hyper.
You have nothing better to do with yourself than to call the police over a parking spot?
She got in my face and punched me and hit me, and then we got into a fight over stupidness.
Park in your own spot, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't fight. There's no reason.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Wilkins versus Wilkins, step forward.
17-year-old student Miranda Wilkins and her mother Gail are suing Miranda's father, business owner Scott Wilkins, for the cost to fix her 2002 Chevy Cavalier. Miranda says her dad accidentally backed the car into his own vehicle.
What's your first name?
Miranda.
How old are you, Miranda?
17.
And this is your mother?
Yes.
And this gentleman is your dad.
Yes.
Your dad was doing some work on your car and had an accident with it and put a little dent in the car. So you're suing him to fix the car. Father says he was more than willing to take care of it, to take it over to a body shop and have it fixed. You wanted to take it to the dealership where you bought the car so that it could be fixed by the same dealership that makes the car. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So I have a few questions for you, Miranda.
17-year-old Miranda Wilkins says her father, Scott Wilkins, backed her car into his own vehicle.
How long are your parents divorced?
A year.
Was it difficult for you?
No.
You live with your mother?
Yes.
What kind of a car do you have?
A 2002 Cavalier.
Who paid for the car?
They got it out of closing money of the house.
Who paid for the car?
Mom and Dad.
It's very nice of them.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Wilkins, you were doing some work on your daughter's car. What kind of work were you doing on your daughter's car?
I was changing her oil and rotating her tires, and I was putting brakes on.
Had she asked you to do that for her?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So your father's working on your car. What happened, Mr. Wilkins?
I just kind of got in a hurry, and I had a head cold, and I'd forgotten.
You'd listen to me. Got to talk slowly so I can understand you, sir.
I'm sorry. I got done with changing her brakes, and then I was going to test them out, and I'd forgotten that I had pulled my truck down behind it. When I backed up, I backed into my front of my truck is what happened.
And how much damage was done to the car?
It put a dent in the back right quarter pounder, about the size of your fist.
Can I see it? You have a picture?
Yes.
It's kind of hard to see. It's a black car.
Well, I'll take a look at it. I want to see the kind of damage that would bring a daughter to a position where she is bringing her father to court to pay for a dent
There was
in a car. Shh.
Sorry.
So far, you're not losing, right?
Oh, that's...
Right?
Right.
In a car that he bought for her.
Yes.
Okay, well, certainly is drivable. I'm not exactly sure where this dent is. Where is it? Back here someplace?
It's in front of the tire, and then there's this scrape that's where you first pointed.
In front of the tire, and then there's a scrape. Okay. Now, did you tell your daughter you would fix the car?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you tell her?
I told her about a body shop that I knew of. I go by pretty regular, and I seen her work, but I told her I'd fix it, and we'd go by there and get an estimate.
What happened?
Well, first couple times I tried to get her to go over and do it. She had something to do, but then she went over by herself. I was going to meet her over there, and she just didn't like the place for some reason, just wouldn't have anything to do with it.
What happened, Miranda?
I just didn't like it because there's some people that's my age working on it, and I didn't want them to work on my car.
You're not marrying them, my darling. Somebody's going to pull a dent out of your car with a thing, that the plunger that they put on the car.
She actually went twice, and the first time the guy told her to come back, and the second time she went, they were really rude to her.
Well, she's not going to bring the car there. Her father's going to bring the car there. What does she have to go over there for? Why did you go over there instead of letting your father go over there?
So they could get an estimate on the car.
Why didn't you let your father take it over?
Because Mom told me not to let him drive my car.
Why?
Because the insurance, I paid for it, it's in my name and Miranda's name.
So?
And he had already backed into his truck, and no offense, I know his driving record. I was married to him for 18 years. And Miranda could have just met him over there, and she tried to get him to meet him over there, and when she would call,
So when
they
can you
weren't
take
available.
the car and have it fixed?
Just whenever available.
Well, let's make a date. Not you and me. Miranda, my dear, listen to me very carefully. Your parents don't get along anymore. They're divorced. Be a smart girl. Don't take sides. Nothing is as black and white as it appears. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Your father may not love your mother anymore, but that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. And it's the wrong thing to do to sue him. It's the wrong thing to do to take him to court. It's the wrong thing to do to listen to your mother when she says, don't let your father drive the car. That's malicious. And you shouldn't be involved in that, and you shouldn't put your daughter in that position. Ever. Put a period, move on with your life, and don't visit hostility that you may have through her to him. That's not fair. That's not fair to do to your children. Your father's going to take the car and he's going to have it fixed where he wants to take it, because he's your parent. Do you understand, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I'm going to do this for you, sir. I'm going to give you 2 weeks from today to fix the car.
That's plenty of time. I would think.
2 weeks from today to fix the car. Is that reasonable? Reasonable? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen your father since this whole brouhaha? Okay. Just remember, he still loves you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And in 2 weeks, he's going to get your car back good as new, and maybe he'll even detail it for you. Give him a hug. Give him a hug. Okay.
ओहो बड़ा पानी सो स्पीड चेक करो पानी दे यार बिल्कुल बड़ा पानी आ गया चेक करो ओहो हो चेक करो कितो तू पानी आ रहा चेक करो जी बान पीछे बंदे ला रहे हैं जी लगे हुए बंदे ओ ना करो सैलाब लुट गई बड़ा पानी आया ओहो सैलाब तो बड़ा पानी आया साजी चेक करो ओहो बड़ा लोगों का नुकसान हो रहा यार बड़ा सैलाब का पानी आया चेक करो बड़ा सैलाब बंद लुटता पिया बंद अज पानी आ गया सैलाब का गलियां च वड़िया वा घर का बड़ा नुकसान की कला मिट्टी चेक करो बड़ा सैलाब आया चेक करो पानी बड़े स्पीड है पानी आ रहा